Happy birthday, first of all. You're probably still wondering what this is. I won't say it, or I won't put it in the title, and I'm serious, I'm not going to tell you. I'll probably change the title at some point to make me happier, but I want it to be a surprise first. This is not the first thing I had in mind for this. There's actually a lot of things I've been wanting to do gift-wise for you. I won't speak more on that because I never want to give anything away. I'll give one thing away. This was a different idea. I just didn't have the money at the time for it because with the hurricane came through, I didn't get a lot of hours where I didn't do Hurricane Ride Out, a whole thing. Anyways, I was going to read The Hellbound Heart. I thought that would be fun. That's the book that became adapted into the first Hellraiser. And that might still happen someday because I thought, the Halloween time fun. But that didn't end up coming out. Didn't have enough time. I got pretty lazy. A lot of stuff. Tuck's wedding came about. You understand. But enough of that. This is what I've landed on. I think you'll enjoy it. It's probably all going to be one big video. I'm sure it is. Because there's no... Only thing to note is that this version I found online is a good version. From all the versions I could find, this is the best formatted one. It does note that it's missing pages 32 and 33. But I don't think that's going to be too big of a deal. Every version I found, I think it was doing that. I think this is just the main version that's passed around. So I hope you enjoy. Saw by Leigh Whannell and James Wan. Fade in. Interior underwater. The low roar of deep water. There is no surface or floor here. This ocean is infinite in all directions. Then, through the inky void, a light. A tiny penlight on a chain. It floats towards us, a tag trailing behind it on the end of the chain. At first, the light shows us nothing, until its glow lands on a face, the face of a young man. His eyes are closed, mouth aghast in mute shock. His eyes abruptly flick open, wide with terror. He takes a breath, swallowing only water. Thrashing and expelling bubbles. He kicks out, hitting something. He sees a bath plug below him. He is in a bathtub. The man's legs thump against the tub's edges as he strains to sit up. The plug chain coils around his toe and he jerks it upwards, releasing the plug. The water whirlwinds down the plug hole, gurgling. The penlight clinks down the drain, taking the tag with it. We hear the man suck in a huge breath above the surface, coughing and gasping. We hear the man, but we do not see him. It is pitch black. Tiny shivers of light are all that allow us quick glimpses of the man's face. Everything else is dark. Man, voiceover. Jesus Christ! We hear a chain rattle. The man screams in pain, his cry echoing as if he were inside a sealed chamber. Man, voiceover. Help! Someone, please! Help me! There is a faint noise. It's close, inside the room. Man, voiceover. Who's that? Is someone there? Silence. Man, voiceover. Is this some kind of sick joke? What? Hey! Again, no reply. Panic rises in the man's voice. Man, voiceover. I'm going to stop doing... obviously for other scenes, I had thought about this. I just didn't want to say it. I wanted to get into it a little bit. Right now, until the characters are identified, obviously we know who they are. I'm going to do that, but like later scenes, I will just give them probably not majorly different voices, but like slightly, different enough, maybe some silly accent for one of the two of them, just so we don't do that as much. You don't get to keep hearing that. Other scenes, if it's like a bit part or something, I'll probably just say it, make it clear, reading the script as is. But until at least this first scene is done, I'm just going to read it like that, just because I think that's a bit fun to see how it would be. And then when later I don't do that, you can be relieved that you don't have to keep hearing me say, man, voiceover, older man, voiceover, because the whole movie's in blackness right now. Man, voiceover. Shit, I'm probably dead. A second voice slices through the blackness, that of an older-sounding man. Older man, VO. You're not dead. Man, VO. Who's there? No reply. Man, voiceover. Who's there? He says that twice. The man breathes hard, waiting for an answer. None comes. Turn on the lights! Man, VO. Older man, VO. Be quiet. Alright, I'm going to stop doing that. That already annoyed me enough. What the fuck is going on? Where am I? I don't know yet. Is that clear enough? Should I do like a... I don't want... because I know... It's like... I'm obviously not going to be able to recreate Gordon's voice. Dr. Gordon's voice. Why the fuck am I blanking on his name? But, Dr. Gordon. Fucking... dude from Princess Bride. Why am I blanking on the actor's name? I can remember... The name hasn't even been said in the script yet, but I'm like, oh yeah, Dr. Gordon. But I can't fucking remember the name of the actual actor. I'm probably just going to give him like a super deep, like a much deeper voice, just so it's very clear when I separate between the two. It's not the best representation of it, obviously, but just something that's not super silly, because I'm sure silly will come up, but definitely distinguishable. And then Adam's character, Adam is the name of the character. I think Leilano played him and wrote it. I don't remember. Adam, the character, will have my normal voice, essentially. So, turn on the lights. Be quiet. What the fuck is going on? Where am I? I don't know yet. We hear hands slapping against hard surfaces, feeling around. Someone sniffs the air. What is that smell? Shh. After an expectant beat, we remain in darkness. The man begins whispering to himself, childlike, primal. God, please help me. I'll be a better person, I swear. I'll do anything you want. Please, just get me out of this. Bzz. A flash of light illuminates the room, then goes out. It zaps again, then blinks on and off spastically before flooding the entire room with white light. A row of fluorescent tubes on the ceiling have come to life. The older man's hand rests on a light switch. The two men shield their faces, then peek out at their surroundings through strained eyes. The older man, Lawrence Gordon, 46, has the handsome, dignified face of an important white male. The other man, Adam Radford, 25, looks like a drowned rat, a young, grungily dressed drowned rat. They are at opposite ends of a large bathroom, 30 feet apart. Both have no shoes, and both are shackled to separate floor-to-ceiling pipes with a thick, 3-foot-long steel chain, which ends in a clamp that binds their right ankle. The windowless room is almost bare, save for a bathtub and a toilet on either side of Adam, and a basin which juts out of the wall to the right of Lawrence. Pipes strangle the ceiling like rusted vines. I just realized I only did one sound test for this, and it sounded okay. I mean, I hate the sound here. It's so fucking echoey in Flamingo here in Florida, but it's, whatever. But it sounds okay, and I hope nothing comes up that makes it sound horrible, because I'm probably going to do this all in one sitting or close to it. I want to get it through for a funny reason I'll tell you later. You're welcome. The windowless room is almost bare, save for a bathtub and toilet on either side of Adam. It says windowless here. Isn't there like a one-way mirror in the movie, or am I thinking of a different trap or different movie? I can't remember. Oh, nope, never mind. Hold on, give me a second. The windowless room is almost bare, save for a bathtub and toilet on either side of Adam, and a basin which juts out of the wall to the right of Lawrence. Pipes strangle the ceiling like rusted vines. And I just got ahead of myself. A large mirror is mounted on the wall facing them. Above it is a clock, which reads 10 to 8. The men's attention turns to the floor between them, where a blue and bloated, naked male corpse is sprawled face down in the center of the room. Well, there's something that's already fucking different, isn't it? He wasn't naked in the movie. Show me John's hog. Honestly, now that I know this, the Saw movie is a fucking failure. I didn't get to see... Jesus Christ, I had a brain fart. I was going to say, didn't get to see John's hog. Give me that. A lake of blood coats the floor around his head, which his brains have been blown out of. All over the wall... Oh, wait, that was not a period. Which his brains have been blown out of all over the wall. In his left hand is a .387 revolver strapped to his skin with duct tape. In his right hand is a tape recorder. The silence punctuates their shock. Is that... Lawrence kneels down for a better look at the corpse. Adam shuts his eyes, takes a deep breath. opens them again. He vomits. Lawrence looks up as Adam retches. He puts a finger over his lips, signaling for Adam to be quiet, then presses his ear against the grimy, tiled wall behind him. His eyes follow a sound which travels up the wall to the ceiling, making its way along one of the pipes, until it reaches a hole where it drips out. Water. Lawrence presses his ear against the wall again, closing his eyes and concentrating hard. Nothing, no birds chirping, no urban atmos. True silence. Clang, clang, clang. Goes the trolley. Lawrence whirls on Adam, who kicks the bathtub with his foot clamp. Help! I'm not going to be yelling things like help because I do have a roommate who is not the brightest, and also I don't tell him I do this, or other people. These walls are generally pretty thick, but you never know. I don't want to be interrupted because I am doing this in my underwear right now. The echo fades. Adam gets on the floor, struggling to pull his foot through the clamp. Its steel edge cuts into his foot as he heaves backwards. He collapses in pain. Lawrence watches him. Calm down. Calm down? I don't like doing my deep voice for Lawrence. It doesn't feel right, but all my other voices are kind of goofy. I suppose I could do a shitty, British voice, because his actor is actually British. Sure. Despite himself, Lawrence's stern, even tone has the effect of settling Adam a little. Are you all right? That is not even close to the accent he has, but we'll do it. What? Are you injured in any way? I don't know. I don't think so. What's your name? My name is very fucking confused. Lawrence turns his attention to the body, pointing at the corpse. Do you recognize that man? Adam shakes his head. Do you have any idea how you got here? I can't even begin to do the actual accent that actor has, because I can hear it in my mind so distinctly. Can't even begin to do it, so it's going to be my fucking, Harry Potter type accent of, Hermione, Harry, you fucking... Well, I could do your fucking chaff. Do you have any idea how you got here? Well, no, I won't do that. Do you have any idea how you got here? Beat. Off Adams, I don't know, look. That was stage directions, but the way it's beat, semicolon, but it's literally beat off Adams, which is funny. But we're playing off Adams, I don't know, look, is what it's trying to say. It's just, it reads aloud weird. What's the last thing you remember? Adam looks away. Cut to. Interior, stairwell, apartment building, night. Oh, see, now we're getting characters that, we're going to just do random-ass voice. Now's when it's going to get goofy with the voices, because I get a bunch of random people. Interior, stairwell, apartment buildings, night, flashback. Low rent. It's late. A baby wails somewhere. Adam clomps noisily on the stairs, alone and singing loudly to himself. A 35mm camera slung over his shoulder. A voice from upstairs yells down at him. Male voice. Off screen. Hey, it's 3 in the morning, pal. Some people have to work. I know. Don't you feel sorry for them? I'm gonna be waiting for you one day, you little shithead. Adam mouths the word shit, little shithead, along with the irate neighbor. This is clearly a well-worn routine. One day. Oh no, this is a different voice. Who said this? Oh, we don't know yet. Probably Amanda. Or no, she's not in this movie yet, is she? Probably John. Here we go. I'll say, one day. That's not going to be my John. My John will be stupid because I can never mimic Tobin Bell. But different voice off screen. One day. That voice was closer. Adam stops and turns, his eyes searching for the source. The baby has stopped crying, and only the wind replies. He turns again, coming face to face with a grim policeman on a faded neighborhood watch poster. He shoots the cop with his fingers, then heads on towards his front door. A loud meow is heard, and Adam starts. A mangy stray cat slinks up to him. Ooh, I lost my pet. I lost my thinking. Jesus, cat. Adam unlocks his door and goes in. The cat hovers. A few beats pass. The door opens again, Adam emerging with a carton of milk. He leans down, picking up the cat and gently stroking its face. What a lovely, non-judgmental animal you are. He doesn't see the dark figure behind him walk stealthily through his open door into the blackness beyond it. Adam stands up, leaving the milk for the cat, walks back into his apartment, and shuts the door. The cat purrs. Cut to interior, bathroom, present. Adam looks dazed. I got home, went inside, that's it. You said someone threatened you? That's just my neighbor. He thinks I'm some unemployed guy whose sole purpose in life is to keep him awake at night. He doesn't know I actually work nights. What do you do? Exactly. What can you do when you're surrounded by such ignorance? Lawrence studies his face. Needs more. There's nothing more to tell. I went to bed in a shithole and woke up in an actual shithole. They stand in silence for a beat, suspicions flying between them. What about you? Close on Lawrence. Cut to interior, underground parking lot, night, flashback. Clutching a briefcase, Lawrence marches quickly through the empty spaces of an underground parking lot, approaching a lonely BMW in the far corner, the only car left. Suddenly, a flash goes off behind him, lighting up the cavernous lot for a split second. He whirls, scanning. No one is there. Lawrence reaches the BMW. He opens his briefcase, the contents all neatly and precisely allotted. With one last nervous survey of the parking lot, he opens the door and slides into the leather-covered driver's seat. He starts the car, hurried, frenzied. We see what he does not, a dark figure, rising in the back seat behind him. Cut to interior, bathroom, present. Lawrence is in deep thought. He rolls up his sleeve and spots a tiny hole in his arm, in his vein. He looks up at Adam. Lift up your sleeves. Adam does. Can you see a bruise or a needle entry? Adam searches his arm. Yeah. What is it? Chances are we've been injected with some kind of barbiturate. Rufinol, most probably. No, not Rufinol, Rohypnol. Adam glares at him. How does he know so much? As if in psychic answer. I'm a doctor. My name is Lawrence. Adam. Lawrence nods back. In unison, they both direct their attention to the corpse. That's the worst dead body I've ever seen. They look different in real life. They don't move. What we need to do is stop thinking about why we're here. Lawrence stares at the chain on his foot. Whoever brought us here could have killed us by now, but they didn't. They must want something from us. Adam ponders this, his eyes suddenly locking on the bathtub. Alarm bells go off in his head. He whips his shirt up, checking his body. Can you see any scars? Lawrence shoots him a perplexed look. This is what they do, see? They kidnap you and drug you. Before you know it, you're lying in a bathtub and your kidneys are on eBay. He rips his shirt off, craning his neck to get a look at his back. No one is taking your kidneys. How can you tell from way over there? You'd either be in terrible agony or dead by now if they had. I promise you. Adam sits on the floor, unbuckling his jeans and yanking them down. Yeah, well, how do you know I'm not in terrible agony? Lawrence dismisses him, turns to look up at the clock. It's the only object in the room not encrusted with mold. That clock, it's brand new. So someone wants us to know the time. Suddenly, Adam stops dead. He has found something in the pocket of his jeans. It's an envelope. Adam is written on the front. Adam opens it, letting the contents fall onto the floor. Inside is a micro-cassette tape. Written on the tape, the words, "Isn't this fun? Play me for the rules." What is it? Adam is too engrossed to respond. Excuse me? Adam looks up at this. It's a tape. It says, "Play me for the rules." Where did you find it? It was in my pocket. Lawrence slips his hands into his own pockets, rummaging and pulling something out. It's another envelope, this time labeled Lawrence. He opens it. Inside is an identical cassette tape, a single bullet, and a key. Lawrence tries the key in the lock on his foot. No good. Throw it over here. Lawrence hesitates. Oh, come on. No, wait, that's still Adam. Come on. Lawrence tosses the key over. It doesn't work for Adam either. Their eyes go to the tape recorder in the body's left hand. Adam springs into action. He lays down, stretching as far as he can reach. His grasp is a good 3 foot short. Use your shirt. Adam wraps one arm of his shirt around his hand, flinging it over the tape recorder, with no result. He tries again. Another miss. It won't work. Look around. There must be something else you can use. There's nothing. There must be something. Why don't you try doing it? Lawrence scans the room, thinking. The bath plug. He's right. Adam snatches the plug and chain from its mooring. He quickly ties it to one arm of his shirt and again sprawls on his stomach. He casts it out, and this time he succeeds, the plug landing perfectly and snagging the handle on the tape recorder. Adam reels it in. He blows a layer of dust off the recorder, then slots his tape inside, places his finger on the play button, presses down. Tape hiss wheezes forth, drowning their chamber's every rivet. It drones on for an eternity. Then, a voice. One that slices through bone. High-pitched and cheerful. It still manages to sound sickly, like a ventriloquist puppet reading a eulogy. So this obviously changed. I mean, definitely he sounds sickly, but not very high-pitched at all, and certainly not even very cheerful. So I guess I will do what the thing says.
Rise and shine, Adam. This is a game. So many days you have wanted to die. Today your aim is to live. To get out of this room alive. Either way, you win, yeah?
I hope you enjoyed that. The tape hiss returns. Adam fast forwards a few beats, but there's nothing else there. He presses stop. I don't get it. Throw me the player. No, you throw me the tape. Look, we're going to have to work together if we want to get out of here. We'll work together after I hear what's on your tape. Lawrence sighs and tosses his tape across the room. Adam plucks it up, placing it in the recorder. He presses play.
Dr. Gordon, this is your wake-up call. Throughout your life, you've told many people that they're going to die. Today, you will be the cause of death. Your aim in this game is to kill Adam. You have until 4 on the clock to do it. There is a man in the room with you. When there is that much poison in your blood, the only thing left to do is kill yourself. You may use his gun to kill Adam. To get it, you'll have to get free from your chain.
Whenever I'm coughing like that, it's in the thing. It's saying he's coughing.
There are ways to win this, hidden all around you. Just remember, X marks the spot for the treasure. Find the X.
The voice pauses, letting the information sink in.
If you do not kill Adam by 4, then I'm going to kill Alison and Diana, Dr. Gordon, your wife and daughter. Let the game begin.
The voice cuts out. Lawrence is shell-shocked. Can't believe what he's just heard. Just in my sitting. Excuse me. Referring to the recorder. Give me that. Now. Bewildered, Adam heaves it over. Lawrence rewinds it.
Then I'm going to kill Alison and Diana, Dr. Gordon, your wife and daughter. Let the game begin.
Whatever chaos is raging inside Lawrence, he holds it in. Just. Maybe it's a bluff. Adam's eyes fall on the rotting corpse. Pity fills him. I'm sorry. Lawrence stares intensely at the recorder, like it holds the key to everything. Any idea who that is? Lawrence shakes his head. He knows us. Lawrence is in another world. He fast forwards the tape, listening for more. There's nothing but hiss. The tape squawks suddenly as Lawrence runs it forward. He takes it back, motioning for Adam to be quiet, and listens.
Follow your heart.
Adam seems Lawrence mouth the words to himself. Follow your heart. What do you think? A beat, then Lawrence springs into action. He unbuttons his shirt, lifting up the singlet underneath and exposing his white office worker flesh. Scrawled across the left side of his chest, across his heart, is the word toilet, written backwards. He faces the mirror and reads it. Toilet. They both focus on the filth-encrusted toilet next to Adam. Lawrence nods to him to check it. Adam flips open the seat cover, squinting into the muck. Doesn't want to do it. He takes a deep breath and plunges his arm in, scrounging. Finding nothing, he retracts it, sickened. Depending on how long this is abandoned, you'd think most of this fecal matter, like the way it's portrayed, is very liquidy. It wouldn't be like that anymore. It would like have dried out and stuff, which means either he shipped some in or John was like just taking a bunch of shits in there over time to make sure it builds up, which is funny. Anything? Just shit. Take off the lid. Adam lifts the cistern lid, reaching in and hauling up a large plastic bag, water dripping off of it. Well done is painted across it. Really wish I would have checked here first. He sets the bag down, cautious, peers inside. What is it? A beat. Then Adam lifts 2 large hacksaws out of the bag. This is a game. Watch out, there could be anything. Adam drops them with a clatter, steps on one of them. Seems like a fairly normal hacksaw to me. He picks one up and attempts to saw through his chain with it. You won't be able to cut through the chain with that. Cut? No. Grind it down? Yeah, fucking stupid. We'll see. Lawrence watches him, tense. Can't wait any longer. Pass me the other one, please. Adam pitches the other hacksaw to Lawrence, off to one side. As he reaches over to get it, Adam flings the plastic bag into the bathtub behind him. They pull their chains taut and begin cutting. Lawrence takes his time. Adam forces it, the chain shaking. We pan up to the clock mounted above the mirror, which now reads 9:15. Cut to interior clock face. We are inside the clock, looking out at the bathroom. The seconds hand ticks into view, swiping across frame and causing a transition. We are now looking at the same view, only later. Lawrence continues to cut at his chain. He swaps the hacksaw into his left hand, trying to steady the chain with his right, but this is proving next to impossible. Adam has given up on the chain and is attempting to saw through the solid concrete pipe the chain is attached to. He grips his hacksaw with both hands, thrusting ferociously. Cut to interior bathroom. Adam picks up momentum, the hacksaw trembling. Lawrence stops trying to cut through his chain. He winces as Adam's blade screeches. Snap! The blade on the hacksaw breaks off, wedged into the concrete. Adam boils. Fuck! He hurls the hacksaw handle at the mirror, smashing one corner of it. 1 second, I'm just seeing. I was just doing another estimate of how long it takes. It's just because the beginning of this movie has most of like the long description scenes, and then like the last fucking half of the chapter is dialogue, so the pages become really short, just gauging time when I should go poop, things like that. So let's see, last I yelled out fuck really loud. Anger erupts inside him. He thrashes wildly, trying to rip his chain from the wall. Wears himself out. What's that noise? Oh, someone's like mowing the lawn on the fucking first floor. He simmers, chest heaving. He'd never make it this easy. Lawrence gently places his hacksaw on the ground. He doesn't want us to cut through our chain. He wants us to cut through our foot. Adam reacts to the he. I may know who's done this to us. Who? It's not someone I know personally. It's someone I know of. Spill it! Lawrence looks away. The police still don't have his name. Dissolve to Interior Neuroscience Ward, Hospital Day. Flashback. Lawrence pulls back a bed curtain, revealing a sleeping man, surrounded by the sluggish drone of hospital machinery. A head nurse and 3 student doctors stand behind him. Lawrence checks the man's vital signs chart. Let's decrease this morphine dosage to 10 milligrams. The head nurse takes notes. I also want the oxygen saturation monitored. A gangly orderly shuffles past, pushing a trolley. He stops and listens. Lawrence turns to face the student doctors, meeting eyes with one of them in particular, a pretty young female with red hair. She smiles shyly. The patient has an inoperable front-of-brain tumor. It is metastatic? No, that's not what that says. I don't know if it's supposed to... No, it says metastatic. I don't know if that's the correct word, or I'm just... It is metastatic and started as a colorectal cancer. The patient came in for the insertion of a port and had an adverse reaction to the anesthetic. Orderly. His name's John, Dr. Gordon. He's a really interesting person. He's an artist, see? Why, thank you for that information, Zep. Zep! We all clap for Zep. We love you, Zep! We love your theme! Well, it's not called Zep's theme, it's called Hello, Zep. But come on. Best theme in the whole fucking thing. The orderly moves on. Lawrence watches him go, shakes his head. As I was saying, the patient had... Voice over loudspeaker. Dr. Lawrence Gordon, please contact switchboard on extension 1217. Obviously, someone doesn't want me to tell you what the patient had. The student doctors laugh. Interior Lawrence's office. Hospital. Day. Flashback. Neat. Breathtakingly neat. Lawrence enters his very clean office to find 2 men, David Tapp, shout out my boy, and Stephen Singh. David Tapp is 40 and says in the script, Stephen Singh is 28 and Asian. They didn't specify that Tapp is a black guy, like in the movies, but Stephen is definitely Asian, so I thought I should point that out. Tapp reads the certificate on the wall. Singh leans against the desk. They look up. What to give him? What to give Tapp? Give him like a cool, rough voice. Because I'm thinking like noir detective. Like imagine he was noir. Hello, Dr. Gordon. I'm Detective Tapp. This is Detective Singh. It's an honor to meet you, sir. Thank you. I'm doing my best, as is everyone else here. Lawrence shakes hands with Tapp. He's dressed sloppily, shirt unironed. Singh simply salutes, looks bored. Sorry to interrupt you while you're working. It's fine. How can I help you, gentlemen? We're investigating a serious matter which has occurred overnight. Lawrence nods his head, eyes switching between the 2 cops. Where am I at? Are you able to tell us where you were between the hours of 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. last night, Doctor? Lawrence stiffens up, hesitates. Why is it that you're interested? Believe us. Oh wait, this is Singh. I'll give Singh a super nerdy voice to counteract. You got the gruff, no-nonsense cop and then the nerdy loser cop. Believe us. The time between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. last night was very interesting. We'd like to ask you a few questions about it. For your sake, I think it would be best if we did it down at the station. Lawrence notices other doctors staring in through the office window. He walks over and closes the blinds. I'm sorry, what is this all about? You won't cooperate? I didn't say that. I said I want to know what this is about. Look, we can arrest you right now in front of everyone, or you can come down with us quietly. The choice is yours, Doctor. Cut to interior interview room, police station, day, flashback. Lawrence sits rigid in a chair opposite Tapp and Singh. Lawrence's lawyer, Brett Wilkes, 43, is next to him. A reel-to-reel recorder rolls between. He's not talking yet, but I'll go ahead and give Brett a voice. What am I thinking first? Like a slangy lawyer. This is ridiculous. That'll be him. It'll be like a kind of like a high-pitched warble for him. So you won't tell us anything? This is ridiculous. We need to know what all this is in relation to. My client has already asked you repeatedly. Indicating Lawrence. I like it better when he talks, pal. trying to do? Scare me with a half-assed bad cop routine? Unless you give me some details, we're leaving. Understood? A young man was murdered last night between the hours of 11 p.m. and 1 a.m., counsel. Now, we have reason to believe that Dr. Gordon may be involved. And while we're on tape, I'll just say that his reluctance to talk is looking a lot like an admission of guilt. Interior office, police station day. Flashback continued. Lawrence stands. Brett sits opposite him. They are alone. Of course I don't know what they're talking about, Brett. How long have we known each other? They found my fingerprints at a murder scene. I'm at a total loss as to how. Where in front of me? I have to ask, Larry, what were you doing last night? This is tearing Lawrence up, letting go of secrets. Lawrence? He steps in towards Brett. I was visiting someone, not my wife. Oh. Brett contemplates this. Well, my advice is to bite the bullet and give them your alibi now. I'm mixing up voices. Because no one's going to believe you later. Go for a truthful defense and wrap this up. I totally fucked up Brett's voice. Oh well. Lawrence can't bear the thought of letting the police know. Hey, buddy, if the police can confirm this, they don't have to tell your wife. They don't have to tell anybody. That can stay. I mean, it's not necessarily confidential. It may be public record, but they don't have to go out of the way to tell anybody. So it's just like, yeah, you can just lie to your wife. You're already doing it. Just saying. Just saying. Now, a real funny plot twist here is if Gordon was fucking Zepp and not the redhead that they specifically mentioned that doesn't even talk in that last scene. Like, yeah, man, butt fucking the orderly. Wouldn't that be funny? Am I just is it funny because it's is that homophobic? A question many have raised, most notably Sammy J and Randy in their song Ballad, a ballad, and maybe it's just called Ballad. I don't remember. You can look up Sammy J and Randy Ballad, where they're making a joke about how they once were lovers in a past life, and the joke is that one of them used to be a girl, and they were Swiss lovers. But then it's like, is it only funny because we're dude now? You know, it's a funny thing. It's funny. Where were we at? Interior, bathroom, present. Lawrence tries his best to appear unperturbed by the memory. That was 5 long months ago. He tried to set me up for murder. Listen, all I want to know is, actually, he's no murderer. He never killed anyone. He waits for his victims to kill themselves. Look, buddy, weird distinction to make for somebody who's in one of his traps. I'd be like, nah, that guy's a murderer. Whatever. Are they always chained up in a room with you? Lawrence doesn't react, scans the room around him. This person is a very sick individual. We drift away from Lawrence toward the ceiling. We close in on one of the fluorescent tubes until its white light blinds us. We pull back from the light, now staring down a torch. Interior, sewer, night, flashback. The place where our filth goes. Water leaks, germs breed, secrets rot. A torch beam swathes the darkness, crisscrossing several other beams, which advance through that mire. A police radio crackles. At the head of the torch are Tap and Sing in gas masks. Why is it that a phone call after midnight always brings bad news? Why doesn't anyone ever call at 2 a.m. and say hi? You just won the state lottery. Reminder, that's Sing. He hasn't said as much, and I kind of fucked up his voice, but it's going to be a little more higher pitched, like, I'm so quirky. That just happened. Tap, not listening. According to first report forensics, the victim's been down here roughly a month. So one more night wouldn't have bothered him, and my wife would still be speaking to me. They reach an iron door, which is a large hole welded in. Oh no, am I racist? I didn't even mean to. I just realized I gave the Asian character the nerdy voice. I didn't mean to. It's just like, that's like an easy voice to distinguish between... My thought was like, it goes against the gruff detective voice that I thought was fun because he's the noir, like a noir detective voice would be fun. But now am I racist? Well, it's too late to change now. They reach an iron door, which has a large hole welded into it. Carrie, 30, a female forensic, peers out through the hole. All right, that's a voice for Carrie, even though she's probably in like maybe 2 scenes.
You guys owe me something.
No, that's not. No, it's not. That's not. Carrie's going to be a large Russian man because I can't do female voices that aren't high-pitched and that are just like one. You understand what I'm saying.
You guys homicide?
It's us, Carrie. Your favorite dicks.
Hang on to that sense of humor, Steve. You're gonna need it.
They crouch down, stepping through the hole, into interior pitch-black room. Flashback. A rat scurries away from the lights. The two detectives remove their gas masks. Singh points his torch, and Tap sees it, hunched on the floor. A naked male body, entombed in a bizarre cage, made entirely from razor wire. What the fuck was my... I said that with a dummy.
Made entirely from razor wire. The man has obviously tried to free himself and became entangled, the razors cutting deep into his skin. His expression is one of frozen terror.
Carrie holds up a clear plastic bag with an old tape recorder inside. She presses play. The voice we heard on Lawrence and Adams' tape spits forth.
Hello, Paul. For a long time, money's been your main concern. That will change now. You play a game that has nothing to do with profits. All you have to do to win the game's stand up and walk out the door. If you can't do it by 3 o'clock, the door's going to close, and then this room becomes a tomb. How much do you value your life?
Carrie shuts off the tape, then directs her torch at a large contraption, or the back of the door. No, I think it's supposed to be on. On the back. It says or in the script, but that's a typo. On the back of the door, with a digital clock in the center that reads 3 a.m.
The door was on a timer. It was wide open until 3, and it slammed shut, right on the dot. He was given 2 hours.
Cut to interior pitch-black room earlier. Paul is inside the cage, alive, reaching out for the open door. He screams as he struggles to claw through the razor wire. Honestly, it's mostly just because it's the first movie and they weren't going to be super too gory or anything, obviously, and it was much more grounded as this concept could possibly be, anyways. But honestly, El Bozo to this guy, one of the easiest traps in the whole fucking series. Faux show. Just don't panic. Cut to interior pitch black room. Flashback. Tap circles the body. It is clear that he has never seen anything like this. He leans in close, his flashlight finding the back of the victim's neck, where a small area of flesh has been neatly and precisely cut away. It is in the shape of a jigsaw piece.
Jigsaw.
Then to Singh.
I think we're gonna be here for a while.
Singh lets out a loud sigh. Hear that? It's the sound of my marriage going down the drain. A flash goes off, lighting up the body and freeze-framing the whole image in black and white. We pull back from the frozen image into interior, observation room, police station, day, flashback. Lawrence's face. He stares at the black and white forensic photo. A note clipped to it reads, Victim 1. He casts it aside, flipping through a thick case file in front of him on a desk. He comes across another black and white photo, this time marked Victim 2. The image is of a blistered, charred hand. We descend into the photo, pulling back to reveal interior, circular room, night, flashback. A naked male body twisted on the floor of a circular, windowless room, like the bottom of a large well. The floor is covered in small metal balls, sharpened spikes protruding from them. In the center of the room is a locked safe. Several plainclothes officers mill about, treading on the balls in heavy boots. Tap picks at the corpse, speaking aloud, but directing it at no one in particular. Seems to be talking to the corpse itself.
Once again, we have a male victim who appears to have been drugged and forcibly brought here by our man, Jigsaw.
He moves around the room, whispering.
Once again, he left a tape for the victim.
Cut to interior circular room. Earlier, a gaunt naked man awakens suddenly in a chair. His right arm is smeared in a thick brown gelatin. Who hasn't been there? He looks down to see the spike ball covered floor of the room he is in. An envelope sits in his lap. Mark is written across it. He tips out the contents, squinting in them in the dim light of an overhead candle. A tape player and a single match. Cut to Interior, circular room. Flashback. Ooh, that was the wrong button. Where the fuck am I? Tap holds up the tape recorder, wearing forensic gloves. From the tape.
It's good for you to be getting out, Mark. No one who's healthy should be bedridden. This game will have you busy, though. There's a slow-acting poison in your veins right now. Antidote is over there inside the safe. The combination of the safe is written on the wall. Hurry and program it in before the candle burns out. Then you'll have to use other flammable material.
The whole motherfucker's covered in jelly and shit, man. Like, or even if his arm is the only thing that's covered in flammable jelly, the rest of his body by that point will just catch on too. Come on, John. Come on, John Saw. Cut to interior circular room earlier. The man read. Oh, my back. Oh, I need to adjust, but it'll fuck up the recording. Adjusting anyways. Adjusting. Okay, we're going to cut this recording, and then I'll be immediately back once I can double test the audio. All right, I'm back. I probably won't hold this position for very long, but, you know, it's different. Excuse me. Interior circular room earlier, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. The man reads numbers that are scrawled on a thin strip of tape, which runs around the length of the room. Ripping it a fraction to keep track of where he's up to, he hobbles carefully across the spike balls, wincing as they cut into his feet to the safe, where he types numbers into a keypad, then heads back towards the tape on the wall. Then the candle goes out. For a moment, we are in total darkness. Then a match ignites. The man has set his right arm ablaze. Cut to. Now, I will say this. I don't remember how long the code is. It doesn't say here. So obviously there's like a lot of options. Although if it's like a traditional safe, it's like maybe 3 numbers. Like, all I'm saying is that in the way it's shown in the movie with how the room's pretty sizable and there's like numbers all over, might have just been better to just go through numbers randomly, right? Because it's not like it seems like there's any indication. It's just a bunch of random sets of numbers, and maybe there's less of them up there. But having to walk around in the spiky balls all the time, and like, I don't know. In concept, the visual that presented the movie doesn't make it seem like it's a good idea to go try those instead of doing it. But maybe the idea they had in their mind was slightly different, where it makes more sense to look at the code numbers up here instead of, you know, just trying random shit out. That's all I'm saying. Cut to interior circular room flashback. Which I don't think that happens in the movie, does it? Oh, fuck, now my memory's not good. I think he just catches on. Does he set his arm on fire in the movie to look? I don't remember. Carrie tiptoes up beside Tap.
We found something. Well, 2 things, actually.
She points toward She points toward a slit in the door of the rounded room. Someone was standing out there. Oh, wait, no.
Someone was standing out there, watching the whole thing.
She lifts up an evidence bag containing a doctor's pen light, the type used to examine people's throats and eyes.
And he left something behind.
Tap takes the bag.
Get a rush on the prints. Bang!
Interior observation room. Police station, day. Flashback. Singh slams the door shut, startling Lawrence out of his concentration. He gestures to a young woman, Mandy, 27, who is entering the interview room with Tap on the other side of the 2-way glass. You know this girl? She's one of my nurses at the hospital. I couldn't tell you her name. It's Amanda Denlin. Weird that the script says Mandy, 27. I don't think anybody ever fucking calls this woman Mandy. It's Amanda Denlin. She crawled out of a drain yesterday. Singh takes a seat next to Lawrence. Interior interview room. Police station, day, flashback. Mandy is dressed in a loose smock. A doctor behind her.
Tell us the first thing you remember, Mandy.
Mandy, smiling gently, turns to face him. Cut to. Interior. Dark chamber. Night. This will probably have a lot of flowery language and stuff that'll make it take forever, because this is obviously the original short film that they done just kind of refilmed and put into the Of course, in the original short film, it was Leigh Whannell who wore it, who's the co-writer with James Wan and also plays Adam. He wore the first bear trap in that. Fun fact you probably knew. Interior dark chamber, night, Mandy's flashback. A naked bulb gives light to a figure, slumped in a chair. It is a dazed Mandy. Strapped to her mouth is a bulky metal device, which clamps into her upper and lower jaws like a medieval dental tool. It looks very painful. She comes to, eyes going wide with fear. Breathing kicks up a notch. She grips the device, trying to pull it off, but it's no good. Sorry, I was checking. Why the fuck is my computer telling me the wrong time? It's not 11:52, you fucking goober. It's 2:52. Why are you still... You have my location. Whatever, it doesn't matter. She grips the device, trying to pull it off, but it's no good. She stands up. The chair she was sitting on flying backwards, pulled by a wire. I don't think that happens in the movie. I could be wrong. That just seems like a weird visual. As soon as she is on her feet, isn't it? Because instead it's attached to the back of her head, which makes more sense. As soon as she is on her feet, a timer at the back of her jaw trap begins rotating in a slow circle. As she gropes forward, a series of pulleys and counterweights strung across the room click to life, spinning a television set around to face her. It clicks on. Horrified, Mandy watches as a garish, ghoulish ventriloquist doll sitting in a chair fills the screen. It speaks with the voice we have come to know as Jigsaw's.
Hello, Amanda. Hard to complain when you can't open your mouth, isn't it? Think of this as similar to the therapy you love so much. This is better, though. This is free.
The doll turns, and the grainy, handheld camera image pans across to show a human skull wearing the same jaw trap. Now, it's not a human skull in the movie, I think. Isn't it just like a mannequin head? God, I can't remember. I've seen too many recreations of this scene in the original fucking short film and fan interpretation. My brain is mush. Because honestly, what I think of when I think of Saw 1 is just the hot sexual tension between Adam and Gordon, because that's what it's not really there in the movie, but just the fan base has made it such a joke that that's all there is now.
Minus the benefit of a rear view, I'll give you a demonstration of what's about to happen. There's a timer on the back of the device you're wearing. When the timer goes off, your mouth will be permanently opened.
The camera zooms into the skull. We hear a timer click to a stop. Boom! The jaw trap explodes open in opposite directions, like a bear trap in reverse, shattering the porcelain skull. Mandy chokes as she watches.
There's only one key to open your device. It's in the stomach of your cellmate. Look around, Amanda. Know that I am not lying. You better hurry up. Your life now has a time limit.
Mandy staggers backwards, her head knocking the light bulb and sending it spinning. She looks down, the swinging bulb flashing past the face of a body. She recoils, the light showing her a man lying still on the floor. Mandy lifts the shirt of the body to expose his stomach. A question mark is painted across it. Interior interview room. Police station day. Flashback. Mandy stares into her lap. Oh God, what voice am I going to give Amanda, the fan favorite character? One of them. She's no Hoffman. Shit. I've got it. Southern Belle. There was a knife. Interior, dark chamber, night. Mandy's flashback. An envelope marked Amanda is scotch taped to the top of the television. She rips it off, letting a scalpel fall out. A rapid montage of images flicker in the strobing light. Mandy's hand on the scalpel, the timer ticking slowly, the scalpel being raised into the light, the scalpel coming down. Then it happens. The man moves his finger slightly, emits a tiny groan. Mandy looks down at him in horror. Interior, observation room, police station, day, flashback. Singh throws an evidence bag containing a syringe on the table in front of Lawrence. The man in the room with her had been injected with this. It causes instant paralysis to 90% of muscles in the body. He was alive? Singh turns back to the mirror. Was. From the interview room.
What happened after you took it off?
Mandy holds up an Allen key, dripping blood. She feels around the back of the device, slotting the key into a hole and unlocking it. I just want to be clear here. If that a mirror? If this had been me, I probably would have killed the guy. I would die afterwards because I would be failing to get the fucking Allen key into the lock. And I think most people would too. It'd be the same fucking shit as like, unless it was like super obvious, like to feel, like it had to be so fucking obvious, and even stand out still struggle, it'd be like a fucking USB port or something you can't see, or a plug you can't see. It'd just be like, nope, oh, I'm dying because I can't fucking see. That'd be me. Just Byron things. The device unlocks, the bottom half unclamping from her jaw. She hauls it off her head, throwing it aside. The timer clicks to a stop, the clamp snapping open. Tears spill out of her face as she collapses, trembling, wailing, shattered. A bolt is lifted, and a door in the corner groans open. Mandy ceases making noise, staring into the darkness beyond the door, waiting. Suddenly, the smiley ventriloquist doll from the video enters, riding a tiny tricycle. The tricycle crashes at her feet, the doll spouting a perfect speaking voice.
Congratulations! Your will to live is saying that you've played the game and won. Savour that feeling coursing through your veins. You are alive and healthy. Most people take their health and their life for granted, but not you. Not anymore.
The interview room, police station, day, flashback. Mandy reaches over and takes Tap's hand. I'm alive. Tears form in her eyes. Interior observation room, police station, flashback. Singh shoots a, she's a fucking psycho look at Lawrence. Lady, where you're going, I'd rather be dead. Bro, you cannot, I mean, maybe court-mandated therapy, but she could probably be allowed to still live at home. That's all I'm saying. You don't need to fucking send her to the loony bin just yet. I mean, I imagine right at it, I don't know. Tap looks uncomfortable with a crying girl, lost for words.
You're a brave girl.
Tap turns to look at the mirror. From Lawrence's point of view, it looks like Tap is staring directly into his eyes. Cut to. Interior, bathroom, present. Adam looks like a frightened child. Are you sure it's him? Lawrence surveys the room. Yes. Adam has a minor meltdown, taking it all in. Well, why am I here? This bullshit is true. Why the fuck am I here? I don't know. I don't know either. I don't know what to believe. You can believe we're stuck in this room, and if we don't find a way out, we're going to run out of oxygen. That's all you need to believe. That's a stupid line that makes no fucking sense. Run out of oxygen? Dude, you are not in an airtight bunker. Shut up. You'll starve. You'll fucking starve to death. That's what you'll die of dehydration. You're not gonna suffocate. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about, dude? You got toilets. You got bath sinks. You can use that shit. That'll have oxygen in it. I think if the Kingsman movie is true. I'm not actually positive on that one, but, you know, maybe. Yeah, and you could be the one who put me here. I'm in exactly the same situation as you are. Adam snatches up one of the broken mirror shards, enraged. Wrong. You've got one thing I don't. The answers. Now you either tell me who he is. He cuts his tirade short. He's staring into the mirror shard he is holding. His eyes reflected back at him in it. He turns it around, seeing through it to Lawrence on the other side of the room. Two-way glass. Their heads pivot toward the mirror. Adam hoists the cistern lid off the floor and heaves it at the mirror. It shatters, revealing a hollow, bare cupboard, save for a glass shell in the center, guarding a camera lens. They gape at the lens, which whirs as it changes focus. We follow their gaze over to the lens until it fills the frame, luring us into blackness. We emerge from a black and white monitor screen, which displays a shot of Lawrence and Adam in the bathroom. A time display in the corner of the screen reads 10:59. We drift back from the screen into interior, living room, house. Curtains shut. Impossible to tell if it's day or night. The monitor sits on an oak dining table. amongst a hive of other equipment. A laptop computer, a police scanner, a large hard drive. Cables spill out of each item like the gizzards of a slaughtered animal. Despite the tech mess on the table, the rest of the living room is immaculate, a spotless testimony to the wealthy. We explore the living room further. A large family portrait adorns the wall. 3 smiling figures stare out of it. A woman, a baby girl, and a younger-looking Lawrence. We are in Lawrence's house. We crane down to reveal a silhouetted figure, sitting in front of the monitor, watching Lawrence and Adam. The figure waves at them. I believe this is Zep, so I'll give him I know he spoke for like a second earlier, but I'll just give him an actual voice. Fuck, man, I don't know. I'm running out of voices. Fuck it. Bad Rocky impression.
I can see you. Don't look at me. I can't help you.
The time display on the monitor clicks over to 11.
Not too long now.
We tilt up into darkness. Pull out of black into interior bathroom. The lens stares back at the men.
Now we're on TV?
A beat. His voice lowers. I feel sick. It's like a fucking lab rat. Adam begins hurling pieces of the mirror at the camera, yelling at the camera.
Can you hear me in there, you dirty fuck? You haven't worried me in the slightest. I'm having the time of my life.
The mirror pieces bounce off of the protective box harmlessly. It's not going to do anything.
So you just want to leave it running?
He won't stop it. That's why we couldn't cut through these chains. That's why he won't break that glass. Every possible angle has been pre-thought out by him.
You sound like you admire this prick.
To overcome something, you have to understand what a perfect engine it is. That's how you fight disease.
Except this time, you have the disease.
Lawrence, ignoring Adam.
The tape told us to find an X. The X has to be somewhere in this room. Think. Where would he put it? Fuck thinking. Do you not feel like screaming?
Lawrence turns away from Adam, concentrating. He begins scanning the room, searching for anything that looks like an X. Adam grows frustrated.
How can you be the calm doctor guy when your wife and kid are out there? He could be doing anything to them right now. Are you thinking about that? Huh? Your wife and your daughter are... Shut up!
Lawrence slumps against the wall, regaining his composure.
I am thinking about that. I've been thinking about it the last thing I said to my fucking daughter.
I threw in an extra fuck or two there, but, get that tension going.
I think fucks would be said more here, but, early on, this is early 2000s, even though they've got, truly in this movie, minor gore. MPAA was like, no cursing.
Interior living room, Gordon house, night, flashback. Lace curtains lull gently, the only thing moving in a darkened living room. It is the same living room we saw the figure watching Adam and Lawrence on the monitor in. For now it is lifeless, not a sound. Interior corridor, Gordon house, night, flashback continued. We creep down the corridor, toward our door. A grandfather clock ticks. It reads 3:15. Interior Diana's bedroom, blah, 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 flashback continued. Blades of moonlight line the angelic face of Diana Gordon, 8, as she lies in bed. Her sleeping posture is mummy-like, facing the ceiling, swamped by stuffed toys. Suddenly, she sits up. For a long beat, she just sits there, squinting into the pitch-black, far corner of her room. Finally, she walks sluggishly out of her bedroom. All right, and that was page 31, so we skip page 32 and 33, because they're not in here, but it's just him talking to his daughter, so who gives a shit. Anyway,
very good. Now you can go to sleep.
Here's Diana's voice.
I'm still scared. Well, think about happy things. What happy things?
Lawrence sees a thick book on Parisian history on her bedside table.
Think about our trip to Europe. It's a whole year away. I'm scared now.
She pulls out... Oh, this one different. I don't think this made it in the movie. Maybe it did. She pulls the Pokemon and Blezin quilt over her head. Lawrence ponders. He spies a big cone-shaped lampshade above her. He takes it off the lamp and props it on his head. Diana pokes her head out to see Lawrence grinning dumbly at her. She giggles. Lawrence stands up and begins improvising, dancing and singing like a deranged Cossack. It's all scratched out, so it's hard to read, but he sings a fun song. I just cannot make that out really well. Diana screams with laughter. Lawrence bends over and begins slapping his behind. Then, ring! Lawrence's cell phone goes off in his pocket. He stops dancing and takes it out, but doesn't answer. He takes the lampshade off his head. No, he wouldn't curse here. I hate that thing. I have to go to work, sweetheart. You know what Daddy's job is like. He kisses her on the forehead and goes to the door. We'll finish the song tomorrow. Lawrence switches out the light, going to shut the door. You're not going to leave us, are you, Daddy? That one stumps Lawrence. What do you mean? You mean leave you and Mom? Diana nods. Lawrence lets out a short laugh, clearly shocked. No, I would never leave you two. Ever. Who gave you that idea? No one? Well, it's not true, okay? Diana stared back at him. Is she convinced? Okay. He leaves. Diana watches him go and shuts her eyes. Good night, mister. Through the slight opening of the wardrobe, we see an eye peering through at Diana in a whisper. Good night, little girl. I just thought that's the best creepy voice. Lawrence stares at a photo of Diana in his wallet. Adam watches him slumped against the wall. How old's your daughter? 8 years, 4 months, and 6 days old. Adam laughs. So you're the dad on all the coffee mugs. I was worried she was cannot speak. I was concerned that she was becoming too yippy, like her mother. Yippy? Someone who laughs at every little thing, all day long. I told her that some people find that very annoying. He chokes up as he talks. There is a long beat, and he offers the wallet out to Adam. Would you like to see her? Adam nods. Lawrence tosses it over. Adam sees the photo. She's gorgeous. Thank you. Weird phrasing. I get it. Whatever. I'm not saying it's being creepy. I would be like, oh, she's adorable. She's cute. She looks so happy. You could even say you got a beautiful daughter. Still a little creepy, but I don't know. Gorgeous is weird. Gorgeous is troubling. I'm speaking so low right now. I have no idea if this is even getting picked up or you're just hearing me going, whatever. Don't thank me. In a few years, some scumbag like me will be turning up on your doorstep to take her to a rave. Oh, wait. That's Adam saying that. And that scumbag will definitely need a plan B in place, just in case he has to go to the rave alone. Adam grins. You gonna have any more kids? You should if you get the chance. All right, Adam, quit it. That's creepy. He trails off. With our schedules, it's difficult to concentrate on more than one. I was an only child. I always wanted brothers and sisters. Adam takes in the photo of the smiling young girl. I remember I wanted to be a vet. Really wanted to be a vet. Then I saw the grades and needed to get into it. And I pretty much knew it was a pipe dream. What garbage. I've seen kids with brain tumors who've completed high school from a hospital bed. They got further than I did. Yeah. I think I can safely say it's too late to become a vet. It's never too late. Adam points to the corpse. His brains splattered everywhere. Well, he's got fuck all chance of becoming a vet. There's a beat. Then Adam begins laughing. Even Lawrence can't hold it in, and he chuckles. The laughter dies down. We are going to get out of here. Adam nods, looks back to the photo. So where's the lucky wife? There's another photo, behind the one you're looking at, of all of us at the beach. Adam pulls out the photo of Lawrence and Diana, glancing at the one underneath. His heart skips a beat. Beneath the first photo is a stark Polaroid of Diana and Allison, tied and gagged like animals, terror in their eyes. Written beneath the photo are the words, "Regards, Jigsaw." It's my favorite... It's my favorite picture because we're all in it. Someone, usually me, has to hold the camera, which means I'm always missing from the photos. He smiles at the memory. Adam sees Lawrence is looking away. He hurriedly removes the Polaroid from Lawrence's wallet. It's not here. What do you mean? The picture you're talking about isn't here. Really? Are you sure? Adam puffs the wallet back to him. Adam puffs? That's a weird way to call it. Adam puffs the wallet back to him and he flies through it. Well, that's what you get. That's how you know they're not actually American. That's not American slang. I caught you, you Australian fucks. He must have taken it. Adam flips the Polaroid over. Written on the back, the words, X marks the spot. Hint. When you close your eyes, you see spots. Holding the Polaroid out of Lawrence's view, Adam reads the words. When you close your eyes, you see spots. Excuse me? Nothing. It's just that. He jerks his head at the camera lens. I don't like being watched. Funny, get it? Because we find out he's a creep? Well, not. He's a private eye, or he's blackmail. I forget which. The camera lens whirs. Interior, living room, Gordon house, day. The monitor flickers, displaying Adam and Lawrence. The figure watching them marches forward in a chair, then stands up. Groaning and hunched over, the figure heads out of the room. Interior, Diana's bedroom, blah, blah, blah. Toys everywhere. The room is not messy, though. It is perfectly neat. The figure enters and bends down to inspect a large dollhouse. Interior, dollhouse. Two dolls sit opposite each other in the miniature bathroom. The figure peers in at them through the window. Interior, Diana's bedroom. The figure turns its attention to the wardrobe in the corner. Cut to. Interior, Diana's bedroom. Gordon house. Night. Flashback. Lawrence exits, the light going out as we saw earlier. Good night, mister.
Good night, little girl.
Diana strains to see into the darkness beyond her wardrobe door, not daring to move from her bed. Her eyelids flutter closed, drifting back into sleep. Interior hallway, Gordon house, night. Oh my fucking god, so many interiors, interior. Allison stands in the hallway, watching Lawrence march out the front door, clutching his briefcase. He looks up at her, perplexed. Allie, I should probably ask why you told Diana that I was going to leave you two. Oh, God, Lord, another fucking voice. I didn't say you were leaving us. I asked what she would think if one day we weren't together anymore. I think it's great that you're posing hypotheticals like that to our 8-year-old daughter. I just don't know how long I can go on like this. I didn't know this was so terrible. Don't walk around pretending you're happy, Lawrence. Lawrence smiles. I am happy. I'd rather you break down and tell me you hate me. At least there'd be some passion in it. You're being ridiculous. Allison picks up an expensive-looking vase. Should I smash something to get a real response out of you? Start screaming? I don't care what the neighbors would think of that. Lawrence puts down his briefcase, gently guiding the vase in her hand back onto the table. Makes sure it's back in the same spot. There's the way things look, and there's the way things are. Lawrence, which one do you care about more? He takes one of the artificial flowers out of the vase, hands it to her. She smiles, despite herself. The fake. I want the kind that lives and breathes. It's too messy. We don't have to water these. Allison cocks her head in exasperation. All right, sorry. Lawrence picks up his briefcase, kisses her on the cheek. I'll bring real ones home later. Promise. Diana's bedroom flashback after he exits. Jesus Christ. Diana tries to stay awake, keeping a vigilant... I don't know, I'm just so annoyed with this specific flashback of her bedroom. It's like, oh my god, we get it. Keeping a vigilant watch over her room, but her eyes close once again. And once again they open. This time, though, a tall figure is standing at the foot of her bed. The figure waves at her, its head shrouded in shadow. I don't remember if this is in the movie. I really don't fucking remember if this shit was in the movie. Of him standing at the end of his bed. I don't remember. Interior, hallway, Gordon house, night, flashback continued. Allison leans against the wall in front of the closed door, listens to Lauren's car drive away. She turns, suddenly becoming aware that Diana is screaming, "Honey! Diana!" She charges up the hall, bursting through Diana's bedroom door to see Diana, silent and standing next to her bed. A figure sits in the center of her bed, a sheet draped over itself. Allison stares at the figure under the sheet, unsure what it is. She steps closer to her terrified daughter. A hand shoots out from under the sheet, clamping onto Diana's shoulder. Mother and daughter scream. Interior, Diana's bedroom, Gordon house, day, present. The figure picks up a crayon drawing. It is of a doctor, holding hands with other people. The writing on it says, "My daddy is a doctor. He fixes people who are sick." Tears fall down onto the drawing, and the figure begins howling, an agonized, pitiful shriek. What time is it? 3:17. Cramping. Krampus! Interior, master bedroom, Gordon house, day. Present. The figure enters, still sobbing. Rifles through a chest of drawers. In one drawer, women's underwear. The figure opens the drawer next to it, which contains neat, color-coordinated rows of handkerchiefs. The figure takes one out, blowing its nose, reaches under the handkerchiefs, pulls out a stethoscope. The figure looks at it, then turns around. Sitting on the floor are Diana and Allison. Their hands and feet are bound to the bedposts, their mouths gagged. Their breathing shifts up a gear. The figure bends down in front of Diana. Allison barks through the gag, wriggling. The figure places the earpieces of the stethoscope in its ears and presses the other end against Diana's chest. Boom, 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 boom. All we can hear is the pounding of Diana's heart. The figure reaches behind its back, producing a .38 revolver. Boom, 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 boom. Diana's eyes widen. Her chest is heaving. The gun is pressed against Alice's forehead. Boom, 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 boom. The gun is cocked. Boom, 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 boom. I can't do that one quite as fast. It makes it sound good. The figure lowers the gun, patting Diana on the head, drops some crayons and paper for her, goes to the window, staring through the open curtains, which Matt frames into interior, abandoned house, day, continued. A video screen displaying a grainy shot of the figure staring through the curtains and shutting them. We hear somebody shifting around off screen. A raspy, metallic voice is heard.
"I can see you, little person. Who are you?"
Wider angle reveals a grotty, disheveled Tap squatting in front of the video screen. He swallows awkwardly, a thick scar stretching around his throat clearly visible. The dank room around him is clogged with stacks of notebooks, papers, and files. The walls plastered with newspaper articles about Jigsaw, and grainy black and white images of crime scenes, bodies, suspects. One space is devoted entirely to shots of an unaware Lawrence. Alone, Tap wades through the mess, whispering in a maddened stream. "Must block out any and all extracurricular activity. Concentrate on the case at hand if I want the collar. Yeah." He finds the notepad he is searching for, scrawling entries into it furiously. He sets the notebook aside and picks up a photo of him and Singh, dressed in casual clothes with big grins on their faces. "Gonna be a proud day, then. Completion." Cut to interior police car, moving. Night. Tap's flashback. Tap drives. Lawrence sits silently next to him, staring into the thick fog which engulfs the car. "I can't see a thing." "When I drive through fog like this, all the murderers I'm looking for are 2 feet in front of me, but I can't see them." Lawrence squints at something off screen. "Here we are." Tap pulls the car over, whistles in awe. "Very nice place, Doctor." "Thank you." Quite an amazing story that poor woman told. I'm sorry I can't be of any more help with your investigation.
"I'll decide if you can be of any more help."
Lawrence opens the car door, annoyed.
We arrested a dentist last week who liked to play with his kids a bit too much. He lived 2 blocks from here.
The sewer lines run into this neighborhood too, Doctor. Lawrence gets out and shuts the door. Tap sits in silence, looks at the time, 9:06 p.m. Interior, police station, flashback, night. The hum of a vacuum cleaner. It's late and everyone's going home except Tap. He sits as his extreme... Hold on. Oh my god, that's a lot. Oh, I want to get to those pages when it's all short dialogue. Where the fuck was I? He sits at his extremely cluttered desk, nose deep in a book, the Buddha's Book of Daily Meditations. Singh turns the corner into the office. On his way out, he is surrounded by 3 other burly male detectives, who laugh and high-five each other. Singh sees Tap and leaves the group, standing over Tap's desk. We're going to the grill for a beer. You want to come along?
I don't think so. Thanks anyway.
Oh, well, I'll always ask. I'll leave you to have your fun here, then. Tap holds up the book, pointing at the Buddha on the cover.
You, of all people, should appreciate this.
Why? Because my grandparents are Chinese? Football's my religion, pal. He goes to leave and stops and turns back. Why don't you find yourself a hobby, Tap? Or a girlfriend? When was the last time you even got laid? Tap smiles, goes back to the book. Singh shrugs. Don't be one of those asshole cops who talks about the job 24/7, okay? As a friend, I tell you that. Singh leaves. Tap is alone. Tap eventually looks up from the book, rubbing his eyes. He leans back in his chair. Exhaustion is getting to him. He stares at a whiteboard in the corner, blue writing scrawled all over it. In the center of it, in big letters, the words, Jigsaw knows his victims. Ring! Ring! The phone on his desk snaps Tap out of his daze. He snatches it up. On edge.
Hello?
I'm pretty sure this is Adam, so I'm going to do that voice. It's me. I got something for you.
Go ahead.
No, I want to speak to you in person.
Look, unless you tell me what...
Jigsaw. You want to know who Jigsaw is, right? I can tell you. Oh no, this is probably Zepp. Or it's Jigsaw himself. I forget. Tap leans forward in his chair.
Is this your idea of a joke?
I'm not lying, Tap. Just meet me inside Warehouse 128 on Day Road Street in half an hour. Then I'll tell you. Tap checks his watch.
Why now? It's 10 o'clock at night.
You know how I live. Be there with your partner or you get nothing. The line goes dead. Tap hangs up, considers, then dials. It rings, answered by a pissed-off Singh. I'm going to kill you.
I just had one of my informants call and straight out tell me he knows who Jigsaw is.
Yeah, and?
He wouldn't say over the phone. He wants to meet us in person. Now.
No way. I got a wife at home who's ready to roast me as it is. Who's the shithead?
He's a junkie, but he's given me reliable stuff in the past, and I wouldn't pass it up.
Come on, Tap. It's damn near midnight.
I'll owe you. You can play with your tribe tomorrow.
Singh sighs loudly.
Give me the address.
Cut to interior warehouse night. Tap's flashback continued. Water break. My fucking throat is dry. That's right, I haven't had a drink of water in this whole fucking recording so far. That's how fucking professional I am.
That's good water. That's good water. Gotta lubricate myself. I won't be taking any of this out.
A pitch-dark warehouse. Scratching is heard.
Excuse me.
And a shaft of light soars through the dark space. Captain Singh jostle inside, faces lit by flashlights. So where's your guy? The two men separate, knee-deep in a carpet of fog, which rolls in from the outside through a hole in the roof. Tap goes to the wall, finding a light switch, flicks it. Instead of electric light, a series of lanterns protruding from the fog ignite. The cops are awestruck. The lanterns give light to a circle of red velvet cloaks draped over large objects around the room. Did you tell Base where we were? Not listening, Tap approaches the nearest cloak, stares at it, apprehensive, then hauls it off, revealing a grotesque pig mask, rotted. Almost looks like it was made from the real thing. Files hover over it. They move away from it to the second cloak, pulling it off and discovering an intricate, miniature scale model of a bathroom. Tap leans in close to it, inspecting. Sing's heart is in his throat. They start in fright as somebody groans nearby. The two cops exchange glances. Sing wants out. Tap doesn't. He moves to the next cloak. The groaning increases in volume. Then the cloak moves. Tap reaches out, grabs hold of the cloak. Sing cocks his gun. Tap rips it away, unveiling a man, still alive and standing upright, strapped to a pole. He's wearing a rusted metal collar around his neck, which has 2 foot-long poles extending out of it on either side. Sitting on the end of each pole is a heavy drill device, with each of the drill points pointing inwards. He spits through a gag, his eyes pleading. What the fuck is that?
That's him. That's my informant.
Welcome. Tap sees what is written on a piece of paper, on a piece of paper stuck to the man's chest. Welcome to your game, Detective Tap. Zzz. Both of the drills screech to life. They begin to slowly make their way along the pole toward the informant's skull.
Now you'll make a choice.
Tap whirls at the voice, just in time to see a dark figure step back into the shadows. He swings his gun up at it. Oh wait, this is Jigsaw himself. I did have a different voice plan for Jigsaw himself in mind instead of the tape recordings, but since he's in person, I can do that one.
Now you'll make a choice.
Tap whirls at the voice, just in time to see a dark figure step back into the shadows. He swings his gun up at it. Freeze! Police! Sing turns in unison, gun out. The figure stops walking backwards, hands raised in the air. The figure snorts. The sound is cold, sickly.
Exciting. Shut up. Get down.
The figure doesn't move. Behind them, the drills lumber closer to their target. In 20 seconds... Oh, wait, no.
In 20 seconds, the life of that man behind you will have ended. There is only one key that can save him. I said get down.
How do we stop it? The figure looks at Sing. Sing said that. I forgot his voice.
The key is inside the box at his feet.
Tap doesn't take his eyes off the figure. Sing edges over to the informant. Sees a small box near his feet. His time is running out. Oh wait, that's the figure again. That page is just formatted weird.
His time is running out. What's more important to you, Detective Tap? Arresting the great Jigsaw, or the life of another human?
The informant makes muffled pleas through the gag. Sing reaches down, tips out the contents of the box. Dozens of identical silver keys. Jesus, what do I do? Tap is zoned out. He circles the figure, taking out his handcuffs. Get on your knees. The figure drops to its knees. There's a keyhole on the front collar the informant is wearing. Sing tries one of the keys in it. No good. Tap moves in behind the figure. The informant shakes his head desperately, but the collar isn't going anywhere. Sing tries another key. Again, no good. He tries another, hand shaking, desperate. The informant begs, drool steeping from his mouth. Christ, Tap, I need help! The drills are seconds away from meeting in the middle.
Aren't you going to help him, Detective Tap? I won't be going anywhere.
I'm too sick to run very fast.
Tap! Drenched in sweat, Sing slots key after key into the collar, to no avail. Tap claps one of the cuffs around the figure's right wrist.
You just ended the life of 2 people.
Tap! The drills pierce flesh, the informant screaming. We do not see it, only hearing. Singh leaps backwards. In that split second, the figure lets a long blade drop from its sleeve, cleaving the air with it and slicing Tap's throat. Ah! Tap falls to his knees, gripping his throat and firing into the darkness that the figure recedes into. Singh crouches next to him, whipping out his police radio.
Officer down! Requesting backup immediately.
Tap shakes his head, pointing madly after the figure, shoving Singh away. Hesitant, Singh gets up and sprints, seeing the figure ahead. He heads up a set of stairs, into an empty freight area lined with concrete pylons. Quiet. Then, voice from police radio.
Howdy there. Please confirm address.
Singh shuts his radio off. Shaking, he trains his gun in all directions. A flock of pigeons alight. He wheels on them. That's when the figure bursts from behind a pylon and heaves into Singh with full force, knocking him down. Landing hard, Singh sees the figure disappearing into the blackness ahead. Blam! 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 He fires, hearing a body drop to the floor. Singh gets up, really trembling now, edging forward. He follows a blood trail to the start of a pitch-dark corridor, hesitates. Suddenly, a torch beam lights the path in front of him. He snaps around to see Tap, on his knees at the top of the stairs, still gripping his throat and aiming his flashlight at Singh. Singh turns back, following the light into the corridor, brushes cobwebs from his face, moves stealthily along the wall until he sees it. The trench-coated figure, lying in a heap. Did Singh get him? He inches closer to the body. He claws through a last sheet of cobwebs, but finds he is stuck. He writhes, struggling to free himself. What the hell? The figure in front of him sits up, face obscured in shadow. Yellow teeth gleam in the dark. Singh raises his gun, but before he can fire, two huge iron pedals emerge from the walls and snap shut on either side of him, sealing him inside. We hear his muffled screams from inside them. With a deafening screech, the steel arms controlling the pedals then fold the iron cocoon in half. Now that's interesting, because that's definitely not the movie. I have to double check that. There's never a thing where a dude gets encased in like an iron box, which is then folded in half. I'm pretty sure he just walks and he like steps into a booby-trapped wire and a shotgun goes off, right? I'm gonna actively Google this, because I'm like, I would have fucking remembered that one, especially from the first movie. I feel like I would have. He gets.
You're a test subject for something greater than.
Yeah, that's just happened. He's chasing after him. Still chasing after him. Yeah, it's what just became a classic. Is the fucking line of shotguns. Although that metal thing would have been cool to see. Okay, I had to go double check. Damn, it's really funny it cut to there and dude's just wearing like fucking New Balance sneakers in his Jigsaw outfit. Anyways. Screams, then silence. The figure stands, circles Singh's metallic coffin. Tap tries to scream, no sound coming forth. The figure approaches Tap, who aims his revolver and pulls the trigger. Click, click, click. The figure stands over Tap, bleeding, his breath wheezing.
Don't be disappointed. I'm dead anyway. The gun went off for me a long time ago.
The figure bends down behind Tap, so that his face cannot be seen.
It was Dr. Gordon who said it to me. He sat me down and cleared his throat and said, I'm very sorry to inform you that you have a year to live. I'm surprised by the physical changes knowing that you're going to die brings on. That your vision actually improves. Your eyes aren't lazy anymore. They don't glaze over things. You see beauty in everything. And you see all the ugly people walking around, ungrateful to be alive. It's a wonderful clarity. But I'd give it up in a microsecond for a life without sickness.
The figure takes Tap's hand gently.
At the rate you're losing blood, I'd give you about half an hour to live. Your vision was slowly reduced to a pinprick of light. Then nothing.
The figure stands up.
Now that you, too, a time limit on your life, I want to tell you something I know about you.
You've never had sex before, have you, detective? You're going to die a virgin.
That's not true, though. Doesn't he have a son? I'm like positive his son is in the fourth movie. So you're a liar. The figure turns to leave. Okay, now I'm going to look at that. Detective tap son? Yeah. What is David tapping? What's David tapping? Let me double check to make sure I'm not crazy. No, what's his son's name? Oh no, Michael Tapp is his son. Let me double check. Okay, so he does have a son. The son is not in the fourth movie. His son exists only in the video game Saw 2 Flesh and Blood. So hey, I was right. He does have a son. I was wrong about where it was. It was just something more obscure. The second Saw game. The first Saw game, I think he actually played as Tapp in the first Saw game. Am I right about this? Am I crazy? Am I going insane? I mean, just stop fucking playing the game. Okay, yeah, in Saw, the first game was called Saw the video game. Jigsaw Killer has healed Detective Tapp from his gunshot wound and places him in an abandoned insane asylum to teach him a lesson in life appreciation. Exactly. So yeah. I don't know what you're gonna, but yeah, Tapp has fucked actually. And someone stole his semen. The figure turns to leave. Tapp begins to pass out. Singh's blood-filled eye is visible inside the iron contraption. No, it's not in the movie. It slowly shuts. The clock now reads... interior bathroom present. The clock now reads 2:30. Lawrence glances up at it. He picks up the tape recorder, presses play, and begins pacing.
There are ways to win this hidden all around you. Just remember, X marks the spot for the treasure. Find the X.
Lawrence repeats the words to himself under his breath. Adam sits on the edge of the tub, holding the Polaroid and Diana out of Lawrence's view. We need to search this room again. Where am I at? Oh, look at all this dialogue coming up, so it's way shorter. Where the fuck am I? Also, that is just so fucking... I don't even think that's mentioned in the movie. Is that line even said in the movie? Going back a minute, hold on. Out of pocket, out of nowhere. Also, by the way, before I go, I know you've never had sex, you fucking loser. That's so fucking hilarious. Lawrence inspects each tile on his side of the room closely, moving now, more desperate. He searches behind the sink. Adam ignores, still studying the back of the Polaroid. X marks the spot. Hint, when you close your eyes, you see spots. Adam to himself. More riddles. Lawrence turns around. What was that? Nothing. What are you doing over there? Listen, just because I'm stuck in this room with you doesn't mean I have to report to you every 10 seconds. I don't really see the point in not helping each other. What the fuck do you expect me to do? I'm on a leash. Exactly why we need to talk. We need to think. I am thinking. Then don't keep me in the dark about it. Adam is about to answer when he stops. Something hits him. Turn off the lights. Hesitant, Lawrence flicks off the light. We hear Adam gasp. On the wall behind Lawrence, written in huge, glow-in-the-dark paint letters, the words, "Dig here," shine in the dark. An arrow points to a large fluorescent X below the words. Lawrence turns, seeing the vibrant words, stands aghast. Why didn't we see this before? Because the lights in here hadn't charged it. It's glow-in-the-dark paint. How did you... Hurry up, before it fades. Dumbfounded, Lawrence grabs the hacksaw, smashing it against the X, breaking away tiles to reveal a hole bored into the concrete behind it. Lawrence switches the light back on. reaching into the hole, wrenching out a small box shaped to look like a treasure chest. The two men look at each other. Lawrence fiddles with the lock. Won't open. Smash it! Lawrence tries to. Can't. Adam grows frustrated. Pick it up and throw it! Something that occurs to Lawrence. Wait, that key. The one from the envelope. Adam finds the key on the floor, skids it over. Lawrence slides it into the lock, turns it. Click. The chest opens. Lawrence reaches in, holding up a cellular phone. Adam whoops with victory. The most beautiful invention on this planet. Lawrence sets the phone aside, reaches in again, holding up 5 cigarettes and a lighter. Hell yeah, brother. Make that the second most beautiful invention. Give me one of those. Are you joking? No. You're not putting something we found in this room in your mouth. I'm willing to risk it. Lawrence sets them aside, ignoring his pleas. Takes a pair of glasses out of the chest. They are his reading glasses. He puts them on. We see there is only a folded piece of paper left inside the chest. Shh, doctor, is written on it. Adam chews his nails, eyes glued to the cigarettes. I don't care. I really don't. I need one. Lawrence unfurls the piece of paper, reads it to himself. Reading from note. The cigarettes are harmless, I promise. Smoking is only poisonous when it ends in bloodshed. Think about this. You don't need a gun to kill Adam. He folds the note. Adam is really agitated now. May I please have one, doctor? Lawrence picks up the phone, hits 911. I'm trying to call the police. The phone pips loudly. Call failed, appearing on the screen. He tries again and again. Tries a different number. Same result. It was meant to receive calls, not make them. Lawrence furrows his brow, glancing at the phone. This has happened before. Blah, blah, blah. Flashback from earlier. Interior. Who gives a shit? Lawrence is in his BMW. He sighs, closing his black diary and studying his reflection in the rearview mirror. He smashes the steering wheel with his fists. Suddenly, his body goes rigid in pain. He rubs the back of his neck, shaking it off. He starts the car, steering slowly through the pillars up to an electric gate. He rolls the window down, feeding a parking stub into the ticket machine. The machine spits the ticket back out. He tries again, same result. Angered, he steps out of the car and marches up to the ticket booth. He pounds on the glass, but no one answers. He scans around for someone. Seems no one. He turns back to the booth, seeing a security monitor, displaying a front-on shot of his BMW. In it, he can clearly see a dark figure lying across the back seat of his car. He whirls on the car, terrified, unsure of what to do. He takes out his cell phone. He dials a number. Call failed. Appears on the screen. As he glances back at the booth, he catches sight of something reflected up in the glass. Something protruding from his upper back. A syringe. Horrified, he bends his arm to reach it, suddenly feeling woozy. My God! He turns, running desperately. Behind him, the back door of his BMW opens, and a dark figure steps out. The dark figure gets on its hands and knees and begins crawling towards Lawrence. Lawrence's POV, sprinting through the garage. The walls begin to pulsate, the lights dimming. The dark figure crawls slowly behind, giggling insanely. Lawrence's steps become drunken, wayward lopes. Through blurred vision, he can make out the exit door. Lawrence's pace gets slower with each step, like he were running in a dream. He slumps to the ground, rolling onto his back. As everything fades to black, the last thing Lawrence sees is the face of a pigman staring into his eyes, waving at him. Flash cut 2. Interior bathroom, present. Real fear is visible on Lawrence's face. That thing was waiting for me. He holds the treasure chest in his hands, drills Adam. How did you know to turn off the lights? Who cares? It worked. How did you know? Instinct. You're a terrible liar. You say that like you know me. You don't. What else aren't you telling me? Well, let's see. On my 6th birthday, Scott Tibbs, my best friend at the time, stabbed me with a rusty nail. I didn't tell you about that. I didn't tell you that my last girlfriend, who was a feminist vegan punk, broke up with me because she thought I was too angry. I haven't told you that one of my toenails... Stop it! You knew to turn off those lights. Whatever. Think what you like. I think I'm dealing with a juvenile who's more stupid than he looks. The interrogation becomes too much for Adam. A ball of fury, he hurls over the Polaroid of Diane and Allison. You want to know? Here. Lawrence picks up the Polaroid. His eyes bore into it. He crumples to the floor. A long moment passes. Why? Why wouldn't you show me this? I couldn't. A fluorescent tube overhead flickers and dies. Lawrence's voice is barely a whisper. It is broken. Changed. They need me. He looks up at the room around him. Swallowing bile, he addresses the camera. What are you doing to them, you bastard? He covers his face with his hands. Lawrence doesn't move. The room is eerily silent for a time. I just wanted to get us out of here. Upon hearing that, Lawrence slowly removes his hands, unfolds the note left for him. The words written on it echo in his head. Smoking is only poisonous when it ends in bloodshed. Think about this. You don't need a gun to kill Adam. He looks down at the floor near his feet, at the rivulets of blood which have dribbled from the corpse in the middle of the room over to him. And then it does a flashback where it says, the man had poison, blah, blah, blah. Interior bathroom present. Lawrence holds the cigarette in his palm, eyes switching between them and the blood on the floor. He sees Adam is avoiding his gaze. He slyly dips one of the cigarette butts into the blood, studies it, studies Adam, mind ticking. Do you really want to die? Adam meets Lawrence's eyes, confused. Lawrence picks up the tape recorder, waving it at him. The voice on your tape. It said many days you've wanted to die. What did that mean? It means whoever did this has obviously been watching me on many days. Why do you want to die? Adam hesitates. Should he be revealing this much to Lawrence? The same reason everyone else wants to die. It's preferable to living. Death is not an alternative version of life. You're either alive or you're nothing. Yeah, well, I'm alive and I'm nothing. A long beat. Lawrence looks at the cigarette, then up at the clock. 2:10. He begins mouthing words at Adam silently. What? Speak up. Lawrence rolls his eyes in the direction of the camera, pointing a finger over his lips. Mouthed, silent. I can't understand you. Exaggerated, Lawrence's eyes fall on a thin pipe, which runs out of the floor, across the ceiling, and over to Adam's side of the room. Lawrence flicks the light switch off, plunging them into blackness. What are you doing? I want you to do exactly as I do. The lighter sparks to life, its tiny plume of flame giving off little visibility. Lawrence picks up the hacksaw, cutting through the thin pipe. Cut to interior living room day. Gordon household. The figure squints at the darkened monitor screen, hearing Lawrence's hacksaw screeching away. Leans closer. With one last jerk, Lawrence severs the thin pipe in half. He pulls the one end toward himself, placing his mouth over it. He switches the light back on, throwing the lighter and hacksaw over to Adam, who points slyly at the thin pipe on his side of the room. This one? Lawrence nods and switches the light out again. The interior living room day, Gordon household. The figure sees the monitor go black again. Adam cuts through the thin pipe, brackets on the ceiling keeping it in place. He holds the lighter up, but cannot make out Lawrence. Now what? A muffled voice slithers out of the darkness, seemingly coming from the pipe. Adam presses it against his ear. Can you hear me? Adam! Adam presses his mouth against his end of the pipe. Only just. Listen carefully. I need you to fake your death. What? Shh. I'm going to give you a cigarette. You'll inhale a few times and then pretend to die, as if the cigarette was poisoned. Do you follow? Say yes if you do. Yeah? This could be our way out. The lights come back on. A few of the tubes sizzling and dying, leaving the bathroom darker. Still want a cigarette? Adam seems unsure of how to go along with the scheme. Yeah, of course. Lawrence tosses it over. Adam lights it, takes a few puffs. A tense beat. Lawrence glares at Adam, giving him a telepathic shove. Adam inhales deeply, then coughs, choking. His hand flies to his throat, dropping the cigarette, his body convulsing. He slumps to the floor, relaxing and gasping out one last dramatic breath. Still. There, I've done it. No answer. Lawrence pounds on the heavy door. I murdered him with the poison, just like you wanted. Now where is my family? The room is silent. 2 corpses and a doctor. All of a sudden, Adam's back arches upwards violently, his eyes rolling back in his head. He spits as he flails, the veins bulging in his neck. Lawrence eyes him in horror. Adam screams, his body rigid, then abruptly limp. He sucks air into his lungs, trembling. So much for being dead. I think I just got electrocuted. That was our way out of here. Did you hear what I said? He claws at his foot clamp. Get this thing off me. Get it off. Stop acting. You think I would make this up just to mess up your stupid little fucking game? Lawrence is unable to totally believe or disbelieve. I'm ending this right now. Give me the hacksaw. Adam hurls it over. Lawrence resumes the attempt at sawing his foot chain in half. The chain won't hold still. Impossible to cut. Damn it! Lawrence slams the wall. Oh, shit. What? What is it? Adam's eyes are filled with fear. It's all coming back to me. I remember everything now. Cut to Adam's flashback from before. We are outside Adam's apartment again. Adam gently strokes the face of the stray cat. Behind him, we see a dark figure go into his apartment, cat licking the milk, yeah. Adam's apartment, flashback, la. Dark, cramped, messy. The walls are covered in protest flyers and band posters. A large portrait of Che Guevara takes up one wall. Was it Che Guevara? I remember. Adam presses play on his blinking answering machine. He opens a door opposite, stepping into interior bathroom. Adam's apartment. Night. Flashback continued. More mess. Adam switches... Where are we at? Adam switches on a red lamp, giving light to rows and rows of photos, crisscrossing each other on strings. He unslings the camera from his shoulder, removes the film from it, begins pouring out chemicals to process it. The machine beeps behind him, playing the message.
Adam, are you there? Please pick up if you're there. Your father's not angry anymore. We just want to know if you're all right.
Adam keeps busy, dropping several prints into a sink filled with developing solution.
Please call, honey. Goodbye.
Adam looks up. He writes himself a note. Call Mom. Looks at it. Adds a question mark to it. Call Mom? He looks down at his freshly developed photos. Pictures of a man, dressed in a suit, carrying a briefcase. It looks like a lot like Lawrence. Adam sits down, resting by the sink, falling asleep. Interior bathroom, Adam's apartment. Later, flashback continued. A noise startles him awake. The red light is out. He tries to see what time it is, but the room is in pitch darkness. Clambering to his feet, he trips through the dark bathroom, going to the light switch and flicking it on. Nothing. Another noise, a clatter. Adam gropes forward and picks up his camera. He pushes the bathroom door open. Now we're in his kitchen, blah, 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 blah. Adam stumbles out of the bathroom, squinting into blackness. He holds up his camera, letting the flash go off. For a split second, it lights up the room, showing an empty kitchen. He winds the camera. The flash takes a while to recharge. Adam blindly shuffles into the living room, depresses the trigger again. The flash lights up the room, and again it is empty. Crash! Adam whips around at the direction of the sound. It came from the bedroom. Someone there! Adam edges his way into the bedroom. The flash goes off, lighting up a messy but empty bedroom. Another sound. It's coming from inside the wardrobe. Adam reaches out with a cautious hand, groping blindly for the wardrobe handle. He yanks the door open. He can hear muffled breathing. So close it could be right in front of his face. Who's there? Adam winds the camera again, the flash charging back up. He fires the camera, illuminating a lightning-quick vision of hell personified. A figure is standing directly before Adam, a garish red suit draped over its body, a grotesque pig mask on its face. Then darkness again. Adam cannot scream, simply chokes. We hear him being shoved to the ground. The flash goes off again, blinding us and transposing into interior bathroom present. The white-tiled tomb. Adam looks petrified by the memory. Lawrence looks just as unsettled. Ring! Ring! They both jump out of their skin as the phone goes off. Lawrence eventually pushes answer. Labored breathing on the other end. Who is this? Daddy? A bolt of shock surges through Lawrence. Daddy, is that you? I'm here, Diana. What are you? Where's Mom? You're with me? Is she okay? Talk to me, Diana. Tell me if you're all right. Where were you last night, Daddy? Diana, please, are you and Mom all right? Cut to Gordon's house. The dark figure stands over Diana, holding a phone to her ear.
Oh, I did this. Yeah, my throat is raw and dry.
It's going to take me a minute silence break. I'm not going to edit this out for you. This will be a minute silence break. Or I'm just going to sit here. You can skip ahead a bit if you'd like. That's on you. Silence break. Okay. Where were we? The pad man from my room is here. Just tie us up and... She begins to sob. He has a gun. What man? The figure presses the phone against Allison's ear, holding up a note to read from. Cut to interior bathroom, breathing on the phone. Hello? Diana? Adam? Lawrence, is Adam there? Lawrence glances up at Adam. How do you... Addison, for Christ's sake, where are you? I'm at our home. Don't believe Adam's lies, Lawrence. He knows you. He knew all about you before today. The line goes dead. Hello? Hello? God damn you! If you so much as lay a finger on them, I'll murder you. Do you hear me? Are they okay? Panicked and confused, Lawrence tries to comprehend just that. My wife, she mentioned your name. What did she say? She told me not to believe you. Believe me about what? She said that you know me. That one stops Adam dead. Who are you? You know who I am. Do I? Lawrence grips his temples like a fierce migraine has just struck him, his violence reaching fever pitch. I need to know what is going on. Stop all the lies. You're a liar. A liar. A liar. I'm a liar? What did you do last night, Lawrence? Work at the hospital, was it? Save sick children? No. Lawrence looks up at Adam. You said that after you left your house last night. You went to work at a hospital. And that's because it's the truth. No, it's not. Lawrence is dumbstruck. Your wife is right. Don't you remember me, Lawrence? You looked right at me. Interior underground car park night. Flashback. Lawrence is heading speedily for his BMW, as we saw previously. Then, from behind one of the pillars, Adam appears, taking a long lens 35mm camera out from under his jacket. Lawrence continues on his way, and Adam aims the camera. He depresses the trigger, the flash going off, then ducks back behind the pillar. I took that picture in the parking lot. Interior bathroom present. Adam snatches the plastic bag the hacksaws came in out of the bathtub, fishing a set of photos out of it and holding them up for Lawrence. He indicates one of Lawrence in the car park. I have the evidence to prove that you didn't go anywhere near a hospital last night. He shuffles them through them. Shots of Lawrence, alone, unaware. What you did do last night was visit a lady friend. Lawrence gasps at the pictures, disbelieving. Why were you taking pictures of me? Why else? Somebody paid me to do it. Flashback. Adam focuses the lens on his camera at something. In the reflection of his camera lens, we see Lawrence sitting exiting his house. I went to your house. Parking lot. Now we're at the parking lot flashback. Lawrence pulls up in his BMW, shutting off the engine. He climbs out and checks himself in the reflection of the side window before heading towards the door. I tailed you in my car. Another car entering the parking lot glides past him. Lawrence doesn't see the driver. It's Adam. Interior, corridor, hotel, night. Flashback continued. Dirty. The decay of little or no maintenance eats at the walls. A hanging light flickers, moths dancing around it. Lawrence paces up the hall, head down, stopping at room 17. He looks behind him, then knocks. And I followed you to that shitbag hotel. Over Lawrence's shoulder, we see a figure appear at the end of the corridor. Close on the figure. We see it as Adam. He aims his camera at Lawrence as he waits outside the door. He clicks off a shot. The door opens and Lawrence steps aside. Lawrence steps inside. Lawrence, interior bathroom presence. Lawrence has gone so white he blends into the wall. You've had those with you the whole time? I found them in the toilet with the hacksaws. I don't know how they got there. More lies. Face it, Larry. We're both bullshitters. But my camera isn't. It doesn't know how to lie. It only shows you what's put right in front of it. Guilt weighs in on Lawrence's face. Just out of curiosity, what did you do in that hotel room? You got out of there pretty fast. Flashback to the hotel room. There is a knock at the door. A figure opens it slightly, then walks away. Lawrence steps in, places his briefcase on the table. Why did you deem it necessary to call me when you knew I was at home? I didn't know if you were going to make it. Lawrence removes his jacket and sits down in a chair, seeing the pretty red-haired student doctor we saw earlier. She sits up on the bed, visibly nervous. Her name is Carla, 26. I gave you a precise time at which to call, Carla. I promise I will from now on. I just wanted to make sure you were coming. I missed you. She unbuttons her blouse, but when she speaks, it's awkward, not sexy. Did you miss me? Lawrence turns away, says nothing. Carla looks worried. You're not leaving me, are you? That one registers. Lawrence studies her for a long beat. He takes his black diary out of the briefcase, flipping it open to a page with a detailed list written on it. 7 o'clock, gym. 9 a.m., breakfast. 1 glass of grape juice, and so on. All the items on the list are crossed out, except the last. 10 p.m., visit Carla. Dr. Gordon, what's wrong? I'm wrong. You're one of the most talented doctors I've ever seen. Carla smiles sheepishly. You shouldn't be here in this dirty hotel room. I was wrong to make you come here. I was wrong to start this with you. Carla looks confused, hurt. I think you should leave before I become weak again. This is all my fault. But, please, the quicker you forget about me, the better. I'm sorry. Lawrence and Carla face each other. Silent goodbyes. Ring! Their heads snap around as the room phone goes off in the corner. Lawrence turns to Carla, suspicious. It's not for me. Lawrence moves toward the phone, picks it up like it was a movement-triggered bomb. The distorted voice we have been hearing on Jigsaw's tapes breathes hoarsely on the other end of the line. What sort of ignorance does it take to give people the news that they're going to die every day of your working life, and yet go on living your life in such a corrupt, dead way? Terror spreads through Lawrence like a typhoon. You know, I've a nickname for you, Doctor. I'll call you the Bad News Bear. Now, though, it's me who's got the bad news for you. I know what you're doing. That's the voice Jigsaw puts on for the tapes, but when he's in person, he sounds like Batman. Just want to make that clear. The phone line goes dead. Interior underground parking lot, night flashback. Yeah, he's walking away, camera flash, the same shit we already know. Interior, bathroom, present. Lawrence glares, questions clouding his mind like locusts. Who was it? Who paid you to follow me? I don't know. Called himself Bob and he gave the money up front. So Bob it was. $200 for one night's work. If I'd known I was going to end up here, I wouldn't have asked for a shitload more. What does this mean? Does this mean you saw me? What I saw was you get into your car and drive away. That's it. I don't know how you got here, and I don't know how I got here. I just took the shots. Cut to interior bathroom, Adam's apartment. Night. Flashback. Adam's in his makeshift darkening room, as seen earlier. And I went straight home to develop them. Adam's thing. Adam flashback to being attacked by the pigman. Adam back in the bathroom. Adam lowers the photos, gesturing to the walls around him. The next thing I know, I'm chained to a pipe in an ancient toilet, staring at the guy I've been taking shots of all night. So whoever paid you to take the pictures is the one who put us here? Maybe. What did he look like? I don't know. He was just a guy. A figure shrouded. Flashback. A figure. I'm severely condensing all these fucking scene changes. It's annoying to read. Flashback. A figure shrouded in shadow stands behind Adam in his living room. The figure reaches into its pocket, pulling out a wad of cash. Back to the present. Crazed, Lawrence continues his grilling. How tall was he? Was he obese? Skinny? I wasn't taking notes about his appearance. Interior, Adam's apartment. Night. Flashback. The figure steps close to Adam, into the light. Back to the present. You must remember something about him. I can't. Back to the flashback. The figure steps completely into the light, slapping the cash down in front of Adam. It is Detective Tapp, the scar around his throat glistening. Back to the present. The memory of Tapp's face hits Adam. His neck. It looked like it had been cut. He had this scar all the way around. Adam runs his finger along his throat. Lawrence lights up. Tapp! Detective Tapp, I knew it! Hold on. The guy who paid me to take these photos was not a cop. He was discharged from the police. Broke down after his partner was killed. But that stopped him harassing me. He became obsessed with Jigsaw. Convinced himself I must have been involved somehow. Lawrence consorts with rage. And you helped him. You took money from him to invade my privacy. How could you do that? Call it my need to eat. You're not a victim of this game, Adam. You're part of it. That's rich, because obviously this cop thinks you're the one behind it all. I told you, he isn't a member of the police anymore. He's a gutter feeder, just like you. What are you so pissed off about? The fact I took some shots of you? Or the fact I took some shots of you while you were cheating on your wife? I did not. He can't even say it. Why do you care what I think anyway? I don't give a crap if you covered yourself in peanut butter and had a 15-hooker gangbang. Then why hide them from me all this time? For the first time, Adam looks like the boy he is. Because I didn't know what you'd do. I didn't know you. Lawrence collapses, tears running out of his face, deep and painful. How did I get here? I had everything in perfect order. My whole life was in order. He stares at the Polaroid of Alice and Diana, the terror-stricken faces staring back. My wife, my beautiful wife. I was always in awe of her ability to give a damn about other people. Where'd my page go? Go back to Gordon House. Allison and Diana sit silently as the figure readjusts their gags, fitting Allison's on sloppily. The figure ruffles Diana's hair and exits. Was Zeb a pedophile, or was he just... I can't remember. I don't remember if that was the lore behind it. Because I know this is his own game. I don't remember what he did. Not Zeke, Zeb. Say what he said. I think it. Does it say exactly? Why did Jigsaw... I realized I was totally quiet there. Why did Jigsaw go after Zeb? Here we go. What does Reddit say? In the comic tie they did with the first movie, which I know those aren't really canon, but whatever. Maybe something like Saw Rebirth, I forget. John observed Zepp as he worked at the hospital and noticed he was very envious of the doctors, to the point he was basically coveting their lives and not appreciating his own. Brother took thou shalt not covet to a whole fucking Jesus Christ, man. Anyways, Allison watches the figure go and shakes her head furiously. The gag comes free and she spits it out. You alright? Diana nods, tears in her eyes. Stay calm. You'll be okay. Can you get your hands free? Diana shakes her head, tears falling. Diana, please calm down. The tears keep coming. Look at me. Listen to what I say. Diana stares into her eyes. We're going to be all right. No ifs, buts, or maybes. I promise you that. But I need you to be strong. Can you do that? Diana's tears dry up. She nods. I love you. Back to the bathroom. Lawrence is sunken, broken. Sits with his head between his knees. Adam examines his photos, squinting. There's something here. Lawrence doesn't look up. Hey, there was someone at your house last night. Lawrence raises his head, curious. Adam folds up one of his photos into an expert paper plane, sailing it over. Lawrence unfurls it. It is a picture of Lawrence exiting his house. Another figure, a skinny man, lurks unseen off to one side. Lawrence puts his glasses on, looks closer. I didn't see it before. A sledgehammer of realization hits Lawrence. He stiffens up. My God, I know him! And then the flashback to say that it was Zepp. But you knew this. It's that flashback of the earlier scene where he spoke up and Lawrence was like, dude, shut the fuck up. Lawrence talking to Zepp in the photo. You perverted psychopath. I want to take pleasure in seeing you pay for this. Fuck! What? He points up at the clock. Look! Lawrence looks up at it. The hour hand on the clock's face strikes 4, like a chord of doom strummed by death itself. They are out of time. Back at the house, Allison bites at the rope which binds her wrist to the bedpost. Finally, she gets through it, freeing her bloodied hands. She rips Diana's gag out of her mouth. Don't leave me here. I'm not going to leave you here, honey. Back to the bathroom. Ring! Their heads whip up as the phone rings again. Lawrence answers. What do you want? Back to the thingy. Back to the house. Allison attempts to rend Diana's hands free. Footsteps in the hall, approaching the door. Damn! Mommy, please, take mine off too. Quiet. I need you to be quiet. Allison scrambles for an answer, before placing the gag back in Diana's mouth and putting her own back in, as if nothing had happened. The door opens. The figure enters, bending into the light. Finally, we see the weedy form of the figure. It is Zepp. He studies them, like a teacher with naughty pupils. Don't be gross. I gotta look something up. No, that's not what I'm looking up. He's not gonna load. Whatever, I'll look at it later. Hold on, no, it's gonna be a funny anecdote. Oh well, so come back to it another time. Is that... What the fuck, what voice did I give to Zip? I don't even remember. It was something funny. What voice did he talked like twice. Well, it's gonna be this now. Dr. Gordon's time is up. And I gotta do what I gotta do. Before I go, I'm afraid it has to be you who calls and tells him he's failed. He slowly offers her the phone, pressing it against her ear. Back to the bathroom. Lawrence listens, hearing nothing. Lawrence? Yes? A tear falls down Diana's cheek. Allison's breathing grows heavy. She looks up at Zepp with pure hatred. You failed! With that, Allison explodes. She spits the gag out, smacking Zepp in the face and wrenching the gun out of his hand. She belts him over the head with it, standing over him. Don't move a muscle! Lie on the floor! Zepp does so, shaking with fear. Allison motions at Diana's bound wrists. "Take that off her now. You've got 3 seconds." Zepp leans in close to Diana, getting a belt over the head with the gun. "Do it from there." A voice can be heard yelling from the phone. Allison snatches it up. "Hello? Hello? Lawrence, is that you? Allie, what is happening? Are you okay?" "Someone had us tied up, but we've got him now. I'm going to call the police." "Who? Who was it?" "I've never seen him before. A little man with a big birthmark on his face. His name is Zepp. Zepp Hindle." "You know him? What's this about, Lawrence?" "Listen, Allison, I want to say something to you. I want to say..." "Wait." She casts the phone aside, pressing the gun against Zepp's temple. "You get that rope off her now, or you're dead. I swear it." Reluctantly, Zepp releases Diana from her bindings. A scream is heard, coming from the phone. It's Lawrence. "Allison!" Allison turns her head for a split second. Zepp strikes. He leaps up, smashing Allison into the corner. He lopes onto her. She fights back, hurling objects at him. She manages to get up, picking up her chair and sending it through the window. Cut to interior abandoned house day. Tap sits bolt upright, riveted to his monitor screen. On it, he sees the chair go through the window of the Gordon house, spraying shards of glass everywhere. Surrounded by photos of Lawrence, Tap bounds away from the screen towards the door, loads his gun as he does. Interior master bedroom Gordon house day. Zepp forces Allison to the floor, wrenches the gun from her hand. He aims it at her head. Diana screams. Traumatized by the child's cries, Zepp tries to calm her with his hands. He guides her to the floor next to Allison, towering over both of them. Only Lawrence can be heard, tiny shouts coming through the phone. Zepp snatches it off the floor. "Dr. Gordon, your wife did a bad thing." Lawrence's screams ring out through the phone, but Zepp cuts him off. Crash! Zepp whirls as the noise echoes through the house. Interior bathroom. Lawrence still has the phone to his ear. The line is dead and he knows it. "I love you, Allison. I've always been happy with you. Always." Desperate, he shakes the phone madly. "No!" Suddenly, Lawrence stiffens up, features contorted in agony. His back arched. His body tremors violently. Spittle splaying from the floor at his eyes. At his mouth, eyes bulging. The phone goes flying across the floor, landing in the corner. "What's wrong?" "Lawrence!" His body loosens abruptly, and he collapses to the floor, still. "Say something!" He lies there in a heap, fingers twitching. "Lawrence, please, get up. I need you to get us out of here. I need you." Back to the living room. Monitors flicker in the dark. Tap creeps past one of them. He holds his gun out in front of him. Turns his corner, like a trained cop does, into the empty hall. Grandfather clock omnipresent, ticking. Tap gropes along the wall. He stops listening, breathing, quivering, clear breaths. He cocks the gun, steps toward a door slightly open. The breaths get louder. Tap gently pushes the door. The breathing stops. Tap steps inside the darkened room, crouches down next to a dollhouse on a table, turns toward the wardrobe. He does not see the figure rise in front of the window, silhouetted. Then he does. He whips around, gun out. "Freeze!" He reaches back and switches on the light, seeing Allison and Diana huddled together, eyes wide with fear. Tap breathes a sigh of relief, then turns. Staring at him through the window of the dollhouse are two bloodshot eyes. Tap recoils as the dollhouse is thrown at him, revealing Zepp. He leaps out under it, slamming him back. Tap stares at him for a second. "Case closed." He snarls, charging at Zepp and pinning him down. Allison and Diana sprint from the room. As Tap and Zepp roll into the middle of the floor, Tap struggles to get his gun under Zepp's chin. Zepp counters, smashing a toy train against Zepp's head, knocking him out. Zepp heaves him off. He takes Tap's gun, limping from the room, where he scans around for Allison and Diana. He flings every door open, searching high and low. Wails in frustration. The They're gone. Bathroom. Adam hurls mirror shards at Lawrence, lying still. Get up! One of the shards connects with Lawrence's skull, and he explodes awake, looks around, frightened. Thank God, I thought you had a fucking heart attack. Lawrence isn't looking at Adam when he speaks. Spits the words out. Something has changed in him. He looks like an animal. Electricity. He electrocuted me. Nearly killed me. Same thing happened to me. I told you. I wasn't lying, see? Lawrence stands up, looks at the clock. 10 minutes to go. Allison, I'm coming to get you. Interior living room. Gordon household. Zepp frantically rips all his gear apart. Monitors, radio equipment, everything. He pockets the gun and heads to a door, stepping into the neat space of Lawrence's garage. A beat-up old Ford sits next to Lawrence's BMW. Zepp jumps into the driver's seat of the Ford, points a device at the garage door. We hear the door opening, light spilling onto Zepp's face. We do not see outside. He steers the car out of the garage, not seeing Tap enter, limping. He smashes the window on Lawrence's BMW, flinging open the door. Ring! Back in the bathroom. The phone rings in the corner of the room, far out of their grasp. Lawrence is like a caged animal. I can't get to it. It's my family calling and I can't help them. Lawrence, calm down. There must be a way out of this. Shut up! Shut up! The time for talk is over. I have to protect my family. The shrill tones of the phone increase in volume. God, what is he doing to them? Zepp's car moving. The lights of an underground tunnel swoop past Zepp's window as he shakily swerves lane to lane. Checks his watch. Interior, hallway, neighbor's house. Allison paces frantically with the cell phone in her hand. It rings with no answer. The family of Indian descent circle around Diana, comforting her. We are in their house. The father of the house comes running down the hall. I've called the police. Allison hangs up the phone. Diana runs to her and they embrace. Allison squeezing her for her dear life. I love you. I love you. I love you. Do you know how much I love you? I do. Through the tears, Allison laughs her loud, unique laugh. Tap tears wildly through the fog-shrouded night in Lawrence's BMW, stomping on the gas. Ahead, he can just make out Zepp's car. I knew you'd come back for the doctor. I knew it. I've got you now, you bastard. Oh, God, I need water. My throat is fucked up from this, and that voice is not helping. Danny Glover. He cackles with laughter. Back to the bathroom. The phone stops ringing. Lawrence begins literally ripping his hair out. This is not the answer. It's not. Don't you think I want to live too, Lawrence? I have a family. I don't see them, but it's my mistake. It's a mistake I'd like to fix. Lawrence cannot hear him. Help me out of here. God, please, guide me out that door. Dark house, interior. A front door. It groans open, light flooding in. Zepp enters through it into the hall. He is in great pain, face dropping in agony. He shuts the door, lurches awkwardly down the corridor. We stay on the door. Its lock jiggles, Tap forcing it open, pokes his head in, moves forward, wounded. Tap skulks up through the shadows of the hall, gun out like a guiding stick. He spins through a doorway into pots and pans everywhere. Your standard suburban kitchen. Into the lounge room. No sign of Zepp here either. A door slams shut. Tap whirls around and heads in the direction of his study. The door creaks open and Tap enters cautiously, his gun out before him. You guessed it, Zepp is nowhere in sight. Tap wheels in all directions, up, down, everywhere. Listening, he can hear faint footsteps. He can hear faint footsteps. He turns to leave, then stops dead. He pivots back, staring at the fall wall of the study. Solid brick. There's something odd about it. He edges towards it, hands out, closer than it happened. His hand seems to go through the wall, because it's an illusion. The wall is not flat. It has a doorway leading into a brick corridor. Tap gapes down at more steps. He scurries down them, spilling out into the filth-soaked tunnels where it all began. Tap spots Zep limping away, disappearing around a corner. He gives chase. Bathroom. The clock ticks. Lawrence wails gibberish. Adam's pleas can barely be heard over the din. Stop it, Lawrence, stop it! You have a reason to get out of here, to pull yourself together. We're going to catch this guy. I have to do it. I just have to do it. It doesn't matter how far down the pit we seem, there is always, always hope. You told me that. But Lawrence is numb. He snatches up the hacksaw, crouching down and lifting his trouser leg, exposing his white, office worker flesh, pressing the blade against it, hard enough to draw blood. Lawrence, what are you doing? Sewer. Tap huffs along the wall.
I'm right behind you.
He unloads his gun at Zep, bullets ricocheting off the walls, slams in another clip and shoots again. The gunfire roaring with reverberation in the tunnels. Zep spins, returning the shots, keeps moving, legs getting weaker. Bathroom. Lawrence thrusts the saw back and forth. We do not see. Adam screams as flecks of Lawrence's blood dapple the floor. Tap gains on the desperate Zep, who hobbles now, as if his body was slowly shutting down. Tap pounces onto his back, catching his legs. They struggle madly in the slime. Zep withering under Tap's strength. I got confused there. My bad. What the fuck was I? Bathroom. Lawrence grits his teeth in agony as he saws through his foot. Sewer. Tap inches his gun towards Zep's face. Lawrence saws faster, harder, biting down on his belt, his eyes wide and maddened. Adam's shrieks fill the chamber. The gun is firmly pressed against Zep's cheek. Tap cocks the gun, puts his hand in front of his face, then, with full force, Zep boots Tap in the chest, sending him thrashing backwards over the edge of a drop-off, landing on a metal pipe. And with that, he is gone. He reappears in the video game. Interior bathroom. Lawrence saws all the way through, standing up and hopping forward, free from his shackle at last. He takes out the bullet in his pocket, limping over to the corpse and prying the .38 from its cold, dead fingers. Lawrence, it's not me who did this to you. Frenzied, Lawrence loads the gun. Angled inside the bullet chamber, the lethal lead dart slides into position. From here, it's the size of a guided missile. Lawrence raises the gun, points it at Adam, cocks it. Please, Lawrence. Please don't. He wanted to die. No, I want to live. I want to live. The madness in Lawrence's face melts into sorrow. Voice barely a croak. For a split second, we see the old Lawrence. I'm sorry. My family. No! Boom. The bullet propels Adam backwards, slipping stupidly into the bathtub. Still. Lawrence drops to his knees. Nuclear silence. Finally, he looks up, sees the clock reads 1 minute past 4. He looks down at the camera lens. He's dead. For real this time. Show them to me. Click. The iron door unlocks. It lumbers open, groaning like a beast stirring in its sleep. The skeletal form of Zep shuffles in from the darkness beyond it, circles the hateful Lawrence. You. Zep raises the gun. Why? Zep cocks the gun. It's the rules. Lawrence arches his... I'm totally forgetting to do voices. It's just so intense. Lawrence closes his eyes, waiting for the inevitable, then stops and looks back. Did he just hear breathing? Too late. Adam arches upwards, sweeping Zep's leg out from under him with his foot chain. Zep lands hard, scrambling for his gun. Adam is upon him, wrapping the chain around his neck and wrenching it taut. You want to chain people up, you sick fuck? They'll die with their own chain. Zep struggles to breathe, shrieking at Adam, but it's useless. He struggles. His struggles get weaker until he wheezes his last gasp. Adam relaxes his arm, breathless, presses his hand on his bleeding shoulder, winces. Lawrence tears off his shirt, wrapping it around his leg and tying it off, grimacing in agony. Adam, you're hit in the shoulder. You're gonna be okay. Get this thing off my foot! If I don't help, I'm going to bleed to death. I I have to go and get help. No! I have to go. For the first time, they touch when Lawrence takes Adam's hand. I'll bring someone back, I promise you. Lawrence lets go, crawling across the floor like a wounded animal towards the door. Adam watches his go. Fear building. Am I going to be okay? Lawrence turns. I wouldn't lie to you. And then he's gone. Adam splays on the floor in a crumpled heap, listening until he can no longer hear Lawrence. The silence is almost too much for him to bear. Adam shifts, agitated. Freedom is dangling right in front of him, beyond the door, and he can't get to it. Finally, he can't take it any longer. He slides himself over to Zepp's body, rifling through his clothes. A key. Come on, give me a key. He finds wallet in the pocket of Zepp's jeans. He discards its contents one by one, finding a driver's license. Shepard Hindle. He flicks the license at Zepp. He keeps flicking through Zepp's clothes, hands landing on an object in his coat pocket. He retrieves it. It's a cassette, written on the front. Isn't this fun? Play me for the rules. Confused, Adam reaches for the cassette player, placing the tape inside and letting it run. Once again, that voice, that horrible voice. Hello, Mr. Hindle. Or as they called you around the hospital, Zepp. Adam glances down at Zepp's body, thoughts racing through his mind. No, this cannot be. I have a game for you. As you know, you've been sick for some time. That is the slow-acting poisons coursing through your system, which only I have the antidote for. If you want to get well, you'd better join in. I've lost the voice completely. You better join in with my game. Now listen carefully to the rules. Unable to believe what he is hearing, Adam turns around, in tremors and utter shock. The corpse, which had been lying lifelessly on the floor this whole time, since the very start, slowly sits up in front of Adam. The corpse, now a very much alive naked man, creases neck, blinking and adjusting to the light. He pushes a needle into his forearm, flexing his fingers at the feeling coming back into his arms. Every particle of Adam's body has ceased to move. He just watches in stark horror. The man looks at Adam. From this angle, we see that he is the sick man Lawrence was talking to the student's doctors about at the hospital. He smiles. This is truly Jigsaw. The man looks at Adam. He gradually lifts his cancer-ridden body to his feet, peeling away a layer of bloody latex from his face, tossing it aside. Cut to interior observation room, police station, day, flashback. Once again, we see Singh throws an evidence bag containing a syringe onto the table in front of Lawrence. The man in the room with her had been injected with this. It causes instant paralysis to 90% of muscles in the body. Interior bathroom, present. Adam whips Zepp's gun up, taking aim at the man. The man slams his finger onto a button from a metal device he has wired to his palm. As soon as he does, Adam is electrocuted through his chain, the gun flying from his hands as he flails madly in pain. The man lets go of the button, and Adam drops, a sack of fried meat. Barely alive, Adam looks up at his captor. The man smiles. The key to that chain is in the bathtub. Adam, struggling in the tub in the opening scene, we see his foot yank the plug, the water gurgling down the drain. A pen light with a tiny key attached to it goes down. Cut to interior bathroom, present. Sickly man hobbles over to the door as Adam reaches out. I lost it. He reaches the door. He flicks the light switch off, plunging the once brightly lit bathroom into darkness. I'm surprised by you, Adam. The pawn has done what the night couldn't do. You've murdered an innocent man. The silhouette of the man turns to look back at Adam. Game over. He slams the door shut. We are in total blackness. Adam screams into the abyss. Fade out.